Welcome to the show. Look at this. 2 Fridays in a row.
We're on a roll.
Yeah, this is good stuff. Hello, Garrett. How are you?
Oh, I'm here.
Feeling better today?
I am feeling better today.
Yeah,
I'm sorry about that one.
Listen, I take enough shit from people for not being here.
I'll take this one.
Every day you get to have this one.
That's
I
fine.
don't want anything to do with it. I had prepped some stuff, was ready to go, and then Garrett's tummy acted up. Something he ate. What'd you eat?
You know what? I don't want to say it's the Wendy's burrito, but it was probably the Wendy's burrito.
Wait, Wendy's has a burrito?
Wendy's has a breakfast burrito, and very
Is it good?
It was good, but it didn't settle very well, I don't think.
Okay, all right. So
It was the last thing I ate before I got sick, so.
I went probably 20 years. I still really can't eat. I can't, well, I should say, I don't. Taco Bell soft tacos.
Yeah, those are the best.
Can't do them.
Oh.
Can't do them. And why I got violently ill when I was 13 years old. I mean, like multiple days, couldn't stop. I was either shitting my pants or throwing up for.
He's got AIDS.
I didn't give him those AIDS. And when he had those AIDS.
And when he had those AIDS, I went to
Those
my
AIDS.
synagogue and I prayed for him.
Those AIDS.
Those AIDS. It's my favorite. I didn't give him those AIDS. And when he had those AIDS, oh, Don. God bless Don Sterling.
Aw.
We're going to lose him at some point.
Yeah, eventually.
He's still alive, I think. But yeah, I got violently ill for a couple days, and I've never been able to eat them since. Now, Taco Bell did come out with a shredded chicken soft taco. It was just like lettuce shredded. It was fucking amazing, and they don't have it anymore. But those were so good. That was the closest I've ever come to having their wraps. But I still can do burritos.
Taco Bell's always a gamble, though.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's true. Anyways, a lot going on. It's good to be here on a Friday. I'm excited to be here. A lot going on around here still, as always. And I know I catch shit all the time from you smart asses and some of you emailers about what's going on here. Believe me, it is a lot of work around here, and it's not just watching people work.
No, every day I come in, there's like a lot of progress done. So I'm seeing it, I'm actually seeing it real time.
Yeah,
I
it's
can
pretty
confirm.
cool. Someone's going to get an awesome house because this is so far from a flip. This is in no way a flip job. Like I'm
You
doing.
just plucked this thing out of the 80s and made it something new.
Yeah, exactly. And it's going to be awesome. Part of me, for the first time, literally over the last couple days, I was talking to Josh, the foreman essentially of the project. I was like, dude, this is the first time I'm like, fuck, I don't want to leave here. Like it's coming together now.
Gross.
And yeah. And by next week and a half, the countertops come in for the kitchen.
That'd be nice.
And that'll be like, boom, that'll be
It's the icing on the cake.
yeah, that'll be like because everything else is basically in, and he put handles on today, and the islands in, and it's just the new appliances are in. It's all coming together. But when those countertops go in and the backsplash, it's gonna be awesome. So, but yeah, I can give you some more details on that later or as we go. But a lot going on in the world. Boy, oh boy, I never thought I'd say that there are American people, well, sort of American, pro-Hamas people. Holy shit. Are the problem is kids are just stupid.
Yeah,
They're just
I agree.
stupid. And I don't mean that they're always going to be stupid. I just mean all of us at a young age think we know a lot more than we know.
Yep.
And we say and do dumb things.
Especially
it's why
young college kids, because that's when you get your first little taste of independence.
Yeah.
And you're in college, so you know more than everybody.
Yeah.
You're a scholar.
And you think you've arrived. You think you know everything. But the
Yeah.
fact is, and it doesn't mean you're not book smart. But what it does mean is you're not life smart. You don't know enough. You think like this is what every generation does. The difference is usually we don't coddle those people. We just go fuck yourself. Shut up. Yeah, have your little dance. Have your little fucking parade around with your sign. It's just a way to score pussy for a lot of guys, like, oh, well, what are the chicks into now? Oh, they want us raging about meat.
Yep.
We have to act like global warming's the most important thing on planet Earth. And if you do a little research and you look back, they've been bitching about this for 60
forever.
years.
Well, it used to be
There's
global
10 years
cooling.
left before the planet explodes. You're
Everyone
like, okay.
forgets Al Gore started on global cooling, and then now it's global warming.
Right. And he's, a lot of these people, they're like people that say when God's coming back. It's like, dude, you better pick a date way out in the future when you're long dead.
Yeah.
So you don't have people going, So next Wednesday, really?
That's
God's
the
going to
problem
be here
with a
next
lot of those
Wednesday?
cults. They have to push it forward. Like, oh, well, didn't happen this time.
We were going by the Earth's clock.
Like,
we
at
should have been
least
going
the
by
heavens-
the sun's clock.
At least the Heaven's Gate people had like a comet coming through. They knew about like, hey,
Yeah.
this is our thing, and
This
we're
is
going to
God.
end it here.
Yeah, yeah. And then it
They're
didn't
actually
work
still
for them.
going.
And Heaven's Gate?
Heaven's Gate's still going.
Wait,
Their
aren't they
websites-
the tennis shoe people, the
Yeah.
Nikes?
They're the
and-
ones who wanted the Hail Bob comment.
Yeah.
They're still going. There's
I thought a
couple
lot
members.
of them died.
A lot of them died in that.
Suicide
but
or
they
whatever.
left a couple people behind that run the websites and everything like that. And the website's still live.
Didn't they have a date? Like a clock?
Yeah, it was the Hail Bob.
Hail Bob.
Yeah.
Shit. Comet. But yeah, I don't know. But you know, stupid people are stupid people. So these protesters, and some of this has been resolved because the cops finally went in because now it's affecting the Democratic Party. Now it's making it look like Joe Biden might be hurt in the polls. It's like his bullshit fraudulent, you know, like, oh, we're not going after menthol cigarettes.
Yeah.
Until November 10th or whatever. You know, once the stupid black people vote for me, then once I can fool the stupid blacks into voting for me,
Exactly.
then I can take the menthols, but I can't do it before. And same thing with this. Now they're getting research that says, oh yeah, the country doesn't like this, and it might affect us at the polls. So we have to act like we care about these students. But them with their demands, watching them get their asses kicked by cops is my new favorite video out there. They're my
Solid. You can
favorite
get some montages going
videos.
too.
Yeah, well, the one I saw last night was there's these fucking assholes, and they've got makeshift shields. Have you seen those with the garbage cans?
No.
They've got Rubbermaid garbage cans that they've cut in half down the middle, and they're using them like shields. And these dudes are running. I'm like, oh my God, they have green plastic garbage cans as a shield. Fucking adorable. This
think
dude's
that's gonna
running full
stop a rubber
speed.
bullet?
This dude's running full speed at a cop, and the cop just goes boom, and the kid's like, blah, on his ass.
That's
I'm
the
like,
best,
oh,
after they get
tough
hit.
guy. Yeah.
I always love after the game. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Help! Help! Screaming like ladies that they are. Oh, it's just awesome.
Pull
to
him
watch.
away. Help! I'm hurting me. You're hurting
Stop
me.
hurting me. Oh, you're such toddlers. You're such pussies. So UCLA, they released a list of needs as they isolated themselves while living in an encampment that authorities have deemed to be unlawful. Well, at that point, go in and make it lawful. They don't get to barricade themselves. They don't get to smash windows.
No.
They don't get to do that kind
You
of
have
stuff.
a right to protest. You don't have a right to occupy own
No,
space.
you don't get it. You don't have a right in your protest to break the law.
Yeah.
Which is the problem that all of us had with BLM and Antifa a few
Exactly.
years ago. That's the only problem we had. Not that you were protesting. That's constitutionally protected free speech.
You want to march down the street and
Knock
do
yourselves
your chants?
out.
We're all with you.
I will snigger at you while you walk down the street. I will laugh at you and how
Snigger.
stupid. Snigger. Put the H on the end of it. Snigger. I will do that. Laugh at you the whole time you're doing it because I know how important you think this is. And
Yeah.
even though your stats are so far out of whack from what the actual statistics are, I'll still appreciate your right to do it. But you don't get to fucking destroy businesses, burn down cities,
Take
all that
over
kind of
buildings,
stuff.
take over
No.
properties.
No, that's where I draw the line with a lot of this stuff. So they had their needs written, and I believe the UCLA, it's hard to keep track of all this, so I apologize if it's like, yeah, that was taken down 2 days ago. Okay, it's still funny. But so some of these have been broken up at Columbia, I think, maybe UCLA as
Yeah,
well.
they're cracking down.
It's spreading nationwide like a cancer. So some of this is hard to keep track of. But anyways, their needs were written in a Google document posted online by the local chapter of Students for Justice in Palestine.
Well, I'm sure they have reasonable needs.
Sure, yeah, they do, and I'll list you some of those reasonable needs.
All right.
We will not leave. We will remain here until our demands are met. So your demands. So you want Israel and Hamas
They want
or
to stop
Palestine,
a 1,000-year-long war.
right? That's happening thousands of miles away, and you have demands here in America. Okay.
No,
And-
yeah, makes sense.
They were overwhelmingly mocked by media figures, the general public. UCLA working hard to overtake Columbia is the most embarrassing and lawsuit-prone university debacle in the country, said Guy Benson, political commentator. So here's their needs.
Okay.
Please ensure the donations are BDS compliant.
BDSM compliant?
No, not BDSM.
Sorry, I thought they were that kind of protest.
No, it's not that kind of protest. Not today. We'll get back to the BDSM
Okay.
bullshit soon.
The gays got to take a break real quick. Hamas is important.
The gays need to take a back seat on this one. So this is just
I'll tell
BDS.
my community.
Yeah, make sure you let your community.
Everybody,
we'll get back
hold
to
up
them
a
soon.
second. We're dealing with terrorists real quick, and then we'll get back to the gay shit.
It sucks, dude. My stack of stories here only has one goddamn trans story.
We're lagging
because
now.
it's like sorry, trannies, you got to be put in the corner for a
Yep.
minute. You're in timeout until we can deal with the toddlers over here. Let us deal with these toddlers, and then we'll get back to busting on your balls or fake balls.
Yeah.
We'll get back to doing
Your
that
balls or lack
soon.
thereof, depending on what you do.
So BDS, they need to be BDS compliant. This is boycott, divestment, and sanctions.
Okay.
That's what that stands for. For freedom, justice, and equality. They just throw these words around like they don't know what they mean.
Yeah.
So urgent. These are their urgent needs. Okay.
Well, let's see if we can help them.
So this is going to help. So if you're in Los Angeles, if you're hanging out in Los Angeles, and I believe this is Hollywood area, right off Sunset.
Okay, so
is-
they got
is
celebrities
where-
that can come and help out. They got
Yeah,
money.
and they've got money.
Yeah,
they could,
and
they
they're
could probably
usually
do
pro
this.
whatever the kids are up to.
Yeah. So if we're going to fix things in this 1,000-year war, as you say, it might
This
even be longer
religious
than that.
conflict.
Yeah, religious conflict with no end in sight
Yeah.
ever. They need some headlamps. So, okay.
Like
so
the
we'll
kids
get-
need them, or do the Hamas need? Because I think Hamas might need them for all those
Hamas.
buildings that are getting bombed to shit right now.
Yes, and the 400 miles of tunnels they dug
Yeah.
before it. So when money's been given to them in the
Wait,
past to take care of their
The
people,
Jewish dug tunnels or the Hamas dug tunnels over
The
there?
Hamas
Okay,
ones.
because there's
So-
the Jewish ones in New York right now that might need headlamps too.
well, they probably do. They'll just buy their own.
Yeah,
the
they're
Jews
all right.
are doing well.
Yeah.
No, the Hamas dug tunnels. So when all this foreign aid was given to them to take care of the Palestinian people, they instead said, "Fuck our people. Let's dig 400 miles of rat tunnels underground. So when they bomb us, we're protected."
Yeah.
So that's what they spent their money on.
Smart move.
So they need airsoft goggles. Is that for comfort?
You know, it's got to be for like tear gas and shit like that, airsoft goggles. Because I feel like they're looking for like airsoft gun goggles because maybe that stops rubber bullets. But I'm pretty sure if you get shot in the eye, anyways.
Yeah.
not
They
stopping
also need
shit.
gas masks and respirators, especially for our medics. Why do you need medics? You're not in an actual war zone. You know
Well, they
that,
think
right?
that the cops
toddlers?
are going to kill them if they get a hold of them.
Oh, yeah.
So they don't understand that if you get tear gas and you run out saying I need help, the cops will just drag you to an ambulance.
yeah.
They're not going to kill you on the spot, but they'll drag
No.
you to an ambulance.
I wish they would, take
Rough
it
them
out
up a little
hard,
bit,
though.
yeah.
I mean, really.
a good spear tackle like last week.
If the cops want to surround each other and leave a nice, comfy space in the middle
Yeah.
for one wannabe terrorist and a cop to really kind of get down there and give them the business a little bit,
Yeah.
rough them up a little bit, I have no problem with that. They need some skater helmets.
I guess that would protect against flying things.
So they don't only want to have the protests and start riots. They want us to supply all the gear for them to
Yeah.
have successful
It
riots.
sounds like they started a riot and didn't really think it through.
Yeah. Well, are you going to ask? This is like people asking for donations of spray paint cans so
Yeah.
they can tag things. It's like, buy your own, fuckface.
If you're going to commit
Don't
a crime,
ask
buy
us
your
to
own
do
crime
that.
gear.
Yeah. How about we don't do that for you? They need some shields, preferably better than the plastic Rubbermaid garbage
Okay.
cans they're using now. Knee and elbow pads. Is that for getting on their knees and blowing each other?
Probably.
Yeah. They need rain ponchos because
Again, blowing
lots
each
of
other.
rain at UCLA.
Yeah.
Lots. There's probably a good 2 or 3 days a year it rains in Southern California. So
You got to be prepared for that.
rain ponchos, canopies,
Again, got to be prepared for the rain.
and the sun.
Maybe.
Are they trying to protect from the sun? Utility gloves without reinforced knuckles. So they don't want the padding on the knuckles so when they punch people, they
don't
could do
know.
more damage. They need various sizes, especially for small little wee hands.
Yeah.
And
that makes sense.
that's one of their things, especially for small hands.
Okay.
So for the girlies,
Probably.
or
Or the men, quote unquote.
yeah,
men.
or the men, involved. Yeah, that's true. They need super bright flashlights. Okay, so they don't need bright flashlights or just flashlights.
brights.
We need super bright ones. Sounds like and with strobe. So maybe this is for the BDSM
That's what I'm
parties they're
thinking.
having.
So far, this still
afterwards.
sounds like it could be a BDSM party.
I agree with you.
You know, you got ponchos, knee pads, elbow pads, flashlights.
By the way, they want these charged.
Ah.
So when we buy these things for them, we need to charge them as well. Make sure they've got some nice Duracells in them or
Just hand them a bunch of
Evereadys.
dead
Is it
flashlights, see what happens.
Energizers?
Yeah.
Yeah, Energizers are good. They want some umbrellas too. They need a lot of
I
rain
thought they got
gear.
ponchos.
Yeah, and
Pick
canopies.
one or the other. Now you're getting a little frivolous with it.
Yeah. For medical, they need EpiPens.
I guess I could see EpiPens, but if you're
What,
also
but-
having
but,
a medical issue,
dude.
just step out of the protest for a second and find medical help.
Shouldn't like. Okay.
Probably getting stung by bees.
If I'm going to a protest, I'll bring my own medical supply. I'm not going to put Entresto on the list
usually somebody
because
with,
my
like-
heart sucks.
I was gonna say usually somebody with a medical condition has the things they need on them just in case.
Yes. They need non-steroid inhalers. What about people that need steroid inhalers?
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Must be only Jews that need steroid inhalers.
No Jews in the Hamas parade.
Right. They need some headlamps. You already said that in urgent, you assholes.
No, they're both urgent and less urgent,
They need organizational bins too. So they
can organize all the shit we're giving them.
yeah, this sounds like stuff for mommy and daddy to take care of for you.
It
right?
sounds like you should have came prepared to your own protest.
Now this is the big one because they can't feed themselves, and I don't know it. Maybe they don't want to use their meal cards at school. And you got to keep in mind a lot of these people are outsiders.
I was gonna
so-
say I think a lot of them also got suspended for this shit, so they probably don't get their meal ticket to school anymore.
so they can't just use their card and go get free meals all day. So we need hot food for lunch, and this is all caps important. So they want hot food for lunches. Don't give them some cold.
No cold food, no sandwiches.
No bologna sandwich. They need vegan food and gluten-free food. They need ice as well.
Well, now they're just getting really picky. Come on,
No packaged food.
treat us better than homeless people.
Yeah, exactly. No coffee. I thought this next one's a real cheap shot.
Yeah.
No bagels.
It sounds like they just went on a rough camping trip.
Did you? I know. Did you hear that last one? No bagels.
No bagels.
You might as well have said no lox and
We
bagels.
can't have Jewish donuts on the
Right.
Hamas
They're
protest.
specifically pointing out Jewish donuts.
Yeah.
Bagels. And you know what I thought of this? Because I remember growing up as a kid, and there was a Jewish kid. His name was Barney, who lived in my neighborhood. And I never understood it when I was a little kid, but one of my other friends would be like, fucking bagel head.
Yep.
He would call him bagel head. And I didn't know what that meant till years later. And, it's like, oh, you're calling him out for being a G.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. He was calling him bagel head.
I gotta use that one. My boss is Jewish.
Really?
Yeah.
Call him a bagel head?
Yeah.
So no bagels. So they're literally like, we hate the Jews so much. We don't even
want even Jewish
We don't even
food."
want their food here. They want no bananas.
I don't think bananas are Jewish.
Is that Jewy? Does
No.
bananas have a Jewy feel to them?
That's got to be some homophobic shit. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if they said only peeled bananas or unpeeled bananas so they could stick them up their own asses, maybe but
Mash them up first. I can't chew very well.
no nuts. So we're all allergic to nuts.
Well, they have to have
probably.
the EpiPens too. So there's probably a lot of weak nerds in
That's
that
true.
group. I feel like most of this group is weak nerds we're dealing with.
Yeah. So that's for UCLA, and they stole a lot of that from Columbia in their list of demands.
Antifa!
And University of Chicago took it up a notch
Okay.
with their demands. So,
Well, Chicago's a different group of people.
yes, and they've got different climates different there.
Yeah.
So they've released a list of supply needs for their encampment. So I'm trying. Let's see here. Chicago, United for Palestine, a leftist group. Shocker. Committed to Palestinian liberation and racial justice at the University of Chicago. Created a list of supplies. They need Vaseline,
Shit.
HIV tests.
Shit.
What the fuck are you guys doing over there in Chicago? You need Vaseline and HIV tests?
That sounds like my kind of rally.
I didn't give them those AIDS, but they want to
I
test
like to help minorities.
dental dams.
Oh.
So that's to protect you
So
from
this is the
eating
BDSM
box,
rally.
right? Yeah, it sounds like it. Plan B.
Yeah, this is the BDSM
Yeah.
rally. Okay, so
So-
the other one was the BSM. This is the BDSM.
No, the
Or
other one is
BDS.
BDS.
Okay,
or
this
BSD.
is the BDSM.
Well, hold on. Let's get our story straight.
You're right.
here.
I don't want to false info.
So the first one was the BDS,
Okay.
and this one's BDSM.
Gotcha.
Obviously, I mean, I don't know what else you could call this. When you need HIV tests, Vaseline, dental dams, Plan B, and Diva cups, which is a fancy term for menstruation cups.
Sounds like
Can
a-
these broads just not drip out? I don't know why they just don't stand
They tried
over a
doing that for a
fucking
while.
grate in the ground and drain out.
Remember they had that whole free bleeding movement where women would wear white and then bleed
Hilarious.
through it?
Yeah.
That was started as a prank on the internet just
Oh,
to
yeah.
get women to bleed through their pants.
Yeah, and it
was
worked.
funny. Oh, yeah, it worked. They bought it hook, line, and
Stupid
sinker.
people were doing it.
I remember watching it real time just being like, oh, they're doing it. They're doing it. Oh,
That was
fuck.
not Reddit. Was it Reddit?
No, it was
or
4chan.
4chan.
Yeah, they
I
started
knew
that
it was
shit.
one of those two. It was either 4chan or Reddit. But
Usually things start there.
yeah. Hilarious that 4chan is basically an R-rated Onion at this point.
Pretty much.
And these dumb shits bought it.
Yeah.
And we're doing the free bleed, which was, I'm all
funny.
for it. You want to save some money?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might ruin a pair of pants, but I've never understood. Ladies need to explain this to me. Go to a drain outside and just stand there and
squat over it a
drain
little
out.
bit. Yeah.
Drain out
It's
for a
1
couple
week,
days.
you got it.
It's a
We'll put a
no
TV
big
in the
deal.
shed.
No big deal. I understand it's expensive.
Put a
and-
TV in the she shed. She'll be happy.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. It's not something. Believe me, if I bled out the tip of my cock once a month, I don't know what I'd do.
You know what they say, Mike? Don't trust anything that bleeds for a week and doesn't die.
I know. I don't trust anything that bleeds for a week and doesn't die. I believe that was Mr. Garrison.
Yep.
That,
That's why I date men.
the full list includes a table needed most urgent. You guys can't figure out how to get
table?
a fucking table.
I'm sure you could just steal one.
Yeah, exactly.
Not for nothing. This isn't a race thing. Just go steal a table.
Yeah. So they need that most urgent.
Or just open Facebook Marketplace. Somebody's probably giving one away.
They need heated gloves. They're needed the most. So like ski gloves.
That sounds weird, though, considering it's like April. I guess the mornings are a little bit colder, but
Yeah, and we're in May now.
Yeah.
So when they put this together, maybe wound packing gauze is needed very, very
I'll
much.
give them that one.
Portable chargers.
No, you're
So
just
they
gonna
don't.
bring
They
your own
want to
fucking
leave
phone
one in their
charger,
dorm
yeah.
room, and then
No, you bring your own fucking charger. Don't
Yeah.
don't be the guy walking around like, hey, does anyone have a
anyone
box?
got a charger?
iPhone only, though. I can't use the Android ones.
Yeah, true. Kerlix gauze. I don't know how that's different than wound packing gauze, but
Well, one of them's bleed stop.
yeah, they could use some bleed
Let's send him
stop.
some
That
bleed
would be
stop.
good.
Get Mike Lindell on this.
There
I think
you
he
go.
supports those protests.
Cat tourniquets. CAT all caps.
Okay.
So I don't know what cat tourniquets
I think it's
are.
just
They're
cartilage, something. It's just regular tourniquets.
Okay.
It's a brand name.
They need some ace bandages, 4x4 gauze, ABD pads for wounds.
Again, sounds like a BDSM rally.
Yeah, and it sounds like they're planning to go to war with
Yeah.
someone. The cops noticed aren't asking for this stuff on their side.
No,
for
they
battle.
came prepared.
Yeah, they've got their stuff.
They showed up with everything in the car already.
These people also need goggles, emergency bandages, trauma shears. They need an emergency kit.
Yeah.
Is what they need. They need the shears and the gauzes.
Go to Rite Aid, get a first aid kit.
Vaseline, tweezers, CPR masks, butterfly sutures, disposable stethoscopes.
It sounds like they're dying every day over there.
Yeah, they are in Chicago.
It sounds like this isn't a protest. It's just a regular day in Chicago.
Yeah, no shit. This is just what the people in
It's like,
Chicago
we're not protesting. We're just stuck in O Block.
Yeah, we're just stuck in Chicago. You thought it was bad when Cabrini Green was going on.
Yeah.
No, this is way worse. They need camping sinks, buckets with lids. We need lids on our
The shit
buckets.
stinking up the place.
That's true. Helmets, HIV tests, dental dams, Plan B, Diva cups, chapstick.
Okay.
All right, you can't provide your own chapstick. You need us to supply that for
I feel
you.
like that's a weird one.
Mylar blankets, contact solutions and cases.
I can't be blind during a protest.
That's true. I would think most of these people would have access to their own contacts. I mean, which prescription do we get?
Well, we were probably ruining their contacts with tear gas, so
That's true.
I think after pepper spray, your contact's useless.
But what? Like everybody's got a different
prescription? Yeah. So it's
for
like, how
their
are you
glasses.
gonna get contacts in? I guess solution we can provide, but
Yeah, solution would be doable.
Just wear
Makes more
glasses.
sense.
you can clean your glasses off. Just wear those for the week.
They want COVID tests. Do they even make COVID tests anymore? Really?
I
You
think there's a
clowns.
warehouse
The
or-
most healthy people on earth need COVID tests?
Yeah.
Really? Boy, you guys bought in hook, line, and sinker. When I say you're the dumbest people on earth, I really mean it. You're still buying into the COVID nonsense?
Oh, it gets worse.
Holy shit. Battery powered lanterns. So a lot of this stuff must be taking place at night.
Yeah.
They really want to go out and fuck shit up.
Well, how else are they
at
going to
night.
find a table?
I love that the cops, when they're grabbing these guys, by the way, they're demasking them.
Yep.
And it's like,
Pull it out. show
holy
the
shit,
camera.
look at that Asian girl.
Yep.
Yes, very good. Protesting for mushrooms. Row for mushrooms.
Oh, they don't even know what they're
Me and
protesting for.
hummus. It's like, yeah, what are you doing here, Fang Fang? What are you protesting? Why
don't
are
know.
you standing with Hamas? Yes, very good. Hate Jews too. We need serving utensils, serving bowls. We need behind the ear mask buffers. That's to take pressure off from wearing the mask for too long of a period of time.
Aw.
Yeah, it starts to itch and
I
it
used
gets
to pull
irritated.
8-hour shifts in a mask. You can suck it up for a little bit. You'll be all
Yeah,
right.
or take them off. Oh yeah, you don't want people to be able to identify you.
Yep.
Which is why when they rip those fuckers off your face, I love it.
That's my favorite.
Absolutely love it. They're demanding the university divest any investments it has in Israeli institutions, companies that do business with Israel, or weapons manufacturers. Yeah, they're in the business of making money.
Yeah, good fucking luck.
That's what this is about.
You're going up against Boeing right now, who just had a second death on their suspicious death on a.
Oh, I saw that.
Yep.
Yeah, crazy.
So that's your
young
that's who you're trying to target.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we don't like the weapons manufacturers. I'm like, good luck taking down Boeing, dude. They'll just take you out first.
Here's the problem with these protests, or these schools too, these universities, these presidents having conversations with these toddlers.
Yeah.
Toddlers who make no sense. Most of them don't even know what they're protesting. They're just out there because, yay, we're young and we're going to make our voices heard, like every stupid generation before you did. Except you guys don't really have a point, and you're affecting nothing. All you're doing is stirring up trouble and being assholes. That's all. Yep. The rest of the country's basically laughing at you. Sorry, That's what most people are doing, is laughing at you. So they established their encampment on Monday, and the school has said that it wants to afford them the greatest leeway possible for free expression.
Oh, yeah, that's cute.
You should do that when it's free expression. Like, they want to be, they want to have safe spaces outside to do paintings. That's free expression.
Yeah.
You trashing the school or making retarded demands.
Like, if you want to make a fucking little concert thing going on, we have a couple local bands, it's all pro-Palestine, no one's going to stop you.
Yeah.
But you're just taking over space and then demanding things from people, like, we're going to help now.
And when you're demanding stuff like airsoft goggles, gas masks, respirators, skater helmets, shields, wood for barriers, knee and elbow pads, ponchos.
It's funny you list all that off.
That's all the riot stuff. We know what that stuff's for.
All that riot stuff is shit I already have in my house. They should have been prepared.
Why don't they ask for, can you supply us pallets of bricks, please?
Yes.
You might as well.
Well, they did.
I mean,
that was the White House, right?
Yeah.
January 6th. There were pallets of bricks that were just conveniently located
left
outside the White House.
On non-work sites, by the way. Those were not
They were going to do some work
sites.
sites there.
Sure. So they were just conveniently left in corners.
The best part is nobody threw the bricks at the fucking White House.
Why would they throw them at the White House? No. But yeah, conveniently left all over the city in these riot zones.
Yep.
Wonder what that's about. And how do you answer for that? Like, why would you need all this stuff that seems like would only be used for nighttime rioting? Yep. That's it. That's why you want this stuff. So when your behavior gets so across the line that the cops have to come in, and then when you fight them, they fucking pepper spray and gas you. That's why you need this stuff, so you can keep the fight going longer. You think you're fighting the power, you're raging against the machine, but you're not.
No, you're raging with
you're
the machine,
not.
motherfucker.
And you know what? Believe it or not, you're going to be embarrassed by this in 10 years. When you grow up a little bit, you have a little more life experience, you realize there's more important things to life than living on mommy and daddy's dime at university.
Yep.
You'll realize in the real world someday.
Or who knows?
You hope anyways.
Maybe America goes so far left, these people will be like Joe Biden later on as a senator. So I'm like, I was in a protest getting arrested for Hamas.
True. And that's scariest of all. Even.
Oh, yeah.
That's even more scary because at some point, like we all used to say, like, well, at some point they'll grow up. At some point they'll be in the real world. And it's like, yeah, well, now we've gotten to the day where these assholes are in the real world.
Yeah.
And we're seeing how
the real world
bang up job is. The real world doesn't work for them.
Yeah.
And so they have no plan on what to do going forward. They just want to tear it all down.
I've got some hope for society, though.
Do you?
It's the new generation. Not quite mine, and I know the new generations are just getting fucked and more fucked.
But see, you seem more grown up than...
Yeah. But what I'm talking is, like, the generation before me, I've noticed that a lot of them, like, because, being rebellious and punk was kind of being the whole left-leaning anarchist, whatever guy.
Yeah, with
now
your tape
it's being
on
the
your
conservative.
mouth.
So, that guy, yeah.
I hate that guy,
now
by
the
way.
punks are all conservatives. They're all libertarians, so I think it's kind of funny.
Well, if you're raging against the what the establishment wants, then all you have to do is be a conservative.
The next generation is
nowadays.
going to come and be like, I fucking hate my millennial parents, and they're going to start going right wing again.
Yeah,
it'll swing back. That's just my
I
hope.
hope you're right.
I'm trying to be optimistic so I can keep going forward because I'm still kind of young and have a lot of this to deal with.
Yeah, well, I hope for the sake of the country that's true because you just can't bend.
You know what?
Believe it or not, smart people figured this shit out about how to make a society work a long time before you.
I'd say 1700s.
And the problem is, too, you don't have an answer for what you want. Tear it all down is not the solution.
No.
Tearing up the Bill of Rights or the Constitution or statues to forefathers is not a solution to all your problems.
Yep.
It's just not. And if you think it is, you're wrong. I'm sorry, you're wrong. And it scares some of us where it's like, at some point, the keys to the kingdom have to be left in capable hands.
Yeah.
And that's terrifying. If you people have no idea why you should respect what society has built before you, and if you don't want to continue that on, I don't know what to say. I think Elon Musk has come up with some decent solutions. He's just having a ball since he bought Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Watching
when he
him
owns the
just
platform, he's just having a good time.
it's funny. Someone tweeted the other day, like, did you just spend $44 billion so you can troll people? And he's like, yeah, basically.
pretty much.
Yeah.
I got the money.
Because I
you don't.
can. Fuck off. Sorry.
how you
And
run
I love it.
business.
I'm
I'm
here
cool
for
with
it.
that.
I'm here for it. And to the people that are like, oh, yeah, now that he's right wing or he's been red pilled, you're a fan. No, I was a fan when he was uber left, too.
Yeah.
I thought, like, as long as you're not an asshole about it, if people want to help develop new ideas and like going electric. Okay, if you find a way to
And
make
not
that
just
sustainable.
He went electric, and then he released the patent so other companies could go electric off his model.
Exactly.
I'm like,
And
that is a man trying to do some good.
And if you can get to a point reasonably where, oh wow, we've moved on from coal plants and that kind of stuff, like great, that's great. If that works, I don't take you people seriously because nuclear could have fixed this problem
A while ago.
a long time ago, and
But
still
Chernobyl
could.
happened. We're all scared now.
Yeah, which nuclear is safer than all of it, and it doesn't involve slavery around half the world.
Yeah.
That's one thing for sure. So you could fix all of this with nuclear, but you won't even entertain that thought because it doesn't let you keep pushing this narrative forward. And I admit, I'm an idiot too.
Yeah.
I don't know everything, but looking from 30,000 feet away, it seems like, while you get to charge your phone faster and it's cheaper, these people are living in slavery in order to make that happen. It's sort of the yin and the yang of life where, you can't have good without bad. You can't have good without evil. So there's an up and a down and a left and a right to everything. And so while it may be great over here for the handful of us that live in America and are born in America and get to use iPhones every day or even shitty Androids, whatever you get to do.
Well, even our poorest of poor
over
have
there,
iPhones.
there are slaves that are digging with sandals on for your rare earth minerals
They're
to
putting them
make
together
those
in the
possible.
sweatshops with the nets on them.
Yeah, nuts. So you can't jump out no more.
Yep.
Don't want you jumping out no more. So Elon Musk, he had a suggestion for anyone who would replace an American flag with the flag of another country. So we're seeing this a lot too.
Okay.
One of the things that these children are trying to do is rip down the American flag off these campuses and put the Palestinian flag up.
Oh, yeah, because this is Palestine.
Right. And so Elon Musk put this out in a poll, which he often does.
Yeah.
And he's like, should I fire so-and-so? And it's like 80% say yeah. He's like, all right, fuck them. Proposed law. If someone tears down the American flag and puts up another flag in its place, that person should get a free but mandatory one-way trip to that flag's country, adding one small caveat.
Okay.
I'm not saying they can't come back, but they have to experience that country for some period of time before returning.
I agree. It's like
I love
jury
it.
duty.
I love it.
I had a rule growing up about working in like fast food and shit like that because I did a fast food job. I always thought it should be like a jury duty thing where everybody has to work a shitty job at the low end for 2 weeks. That's it. You just have to deal with
Just 2
customers.
weeks?
Yeah, just an easy job. You can get training. You have to deal with customers. You have to deal with shit work. You have to do the trash shit. And then you can go on to your nice jobs.
So aren't there are some countries that have mandatory like 2 years in the military?
Yeah. Korea does that. A couple of Israel does that.
China probably does that.
China. Oh, China doesn't
Russia
do that,
does.
but China has that button where they can just say everybody's
in, yeah.
And Russia does too.
Russia, yeah. Which is not a terrible way to go. I think Germany used to have it back in the day too, where you had to serve, which is not an awful idea. To get some sort of idea about what your brethren have gone through. Like, hey, I'm and
I always just thought it'd give everybody more appreciation for the fast food window,
Well, that would only here's the problem. We have a lot of rich people in this country and they would find
buy their
out.
way out.
Exactly. They'll find a way to buy their way out and then it'll just be like,
well, it's like me
"Ugh,
when I
didn't
get
have to
jury
do that."
duty paperwork. I'm like, I'm biased. Don't send me to the court.
Have you been able to get out of it with that?
I got jury duty paperwork one time, but it seemed really sketchy and not real, so I just didn't even answer it and nothing came of it.
I did that once too.
Yeah.
And I hear it. They write on there like, oh, this is a federal offense.
Yeah, and they were
blah,
like,
blah,
well, we want your social security number through the mail. I'm like, I don't think this is legit.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard anything since. It's been
yeah.
I was 18, so it's been like 8 years. Still haven't heard anything.
Yeah, I think you're good. So I don't think that's a terrible idea. Like, honestly, if you feel this strongly that Palestine is the place to be, you should go live there for a while. And like he said, look, not permanent, but you should go there for a few months.
It's the same thing with like the missing Israelis. Like when they're putting those posters up, like help find the Israelis on college campuses in the U.S. I'm like, no, what the fuck you putting those up here? How about we send people from here over there and they can go find the Israelis?
Yeah, there you go.
They care about it so much.
Yeah, and you think they're so right and such heroes, and you think Hamas is the shit. I mean, honestly, when that's not a joke. Palestine, like gays for Palestine.
Yeah,
like that is
gays
so
for the country that will throw you off a roof and kill you.
Like there's videos of that. And even the still images.
Yeah.
Still images of a hogtied gay person halfway down a building side is fucking horrific to look at. It's
fucking awful.
Horrific. That's not going on in Chicago, okay?
No.
That's not going on in Los Angeles.
That is actually a hate crime in Chicago and Los Angeles. Like, federally, if you are attacking somebody for being gay in America, hate crime. Over there, it's cool. They love it.
It's so disturbing to see in person.
The cops will help you tie hog tie. They'll show you the right technique.
And it's just it's so disturbing. And to be like gays for Palestine, like you have to be so ignorant, so stupid, so uninformed, ill-informed, malinformed, whatever you want to call it. You have to be so that there's not much hope for you, in my opinion.
Not at all. It's one of those things where it's like where all these people, it's the entire world sees everybody in America as just USA centric. We only talk about the USA. We only know the USA, and that's like the biggest.
I'm
knock
okay with that. By the way,
and that's the biggest knock they have against us. And it's never more evident than when you're watching these protesters say like "gays for Palestine." I'm like, you are so fucking USA centric. You think the entire world has freedoms like us?
Yeah, or thinks like us,
or thinks like we do,
or has sympathies like us.
No,
like they don't. They don't. And I'll read you more about how that's working out in another country. Okay. Yeah. When you talk about Europe and what they're dealing with mass immigration, that people that don't want to assimilate and be part of the fucking
fly other countries' flags while escaping those countries.
We'll give you some of those details in a moment. So after 1.5 million X users, Twitter users, voted in Musk's poll, nearly 1.2 million of them, 80% said they would support such a policy. Just under 20%, or just over 20%, said they would not support his proposal. So yeah, so this comes as, I said the reason he did this is because we're seeing this on quite a few campuses where they're trying to take that down, and it made frat boys have been under attack for years, forever. Frat boys,
ever since Animal House.
Everybody hates frat boys, like they're just out to finger chicks and get shit faced. Yeah. And so that's kind of the knock on frat boys. And I knew frat boys growing up, and I look like them. And so I was accepted with them. Nobody roofied me or tried to finger my butt or anything like that. So I could party with those guys and get along with them. But I understood. It is a bro, bro, let's all fuck chicks. It really is kind of like
I've never had a problem with the frat boys.
No, but it is very reminiscent of the
Animal House type.
Do we have the chant from South Park, the woo woo?
Yeah, we do. Let me find it.
So Chapel Hill.
Social justice, 1, 2, 3. Woo, woo. I wanna be PC. Woo, woo. It's just the way to be for me and you. Woo, woo. Your hateful slurs are through. Woo, woo. I call woo woo on you. Woo, woo. We'll fight until you're PC black and blue. Woo, woo. We are language police fighting bigotry. Hurtful words can suck our turds, cause it's PC for me and you. Woo, woo. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, bro.
PC, bro.
Isn't that funny? Fuck yeah, bro, is the best part of that whole clip at the end. Fuck yeah, bro.
I just love that they made the frat boy into the PC one. That is so fucking smart.
It's so great. Yeah. It's perfect. That season of South Park when we got introduced to PC Principal and his frat bros is one of the best fucking seasons South Park's ever done in all their 30 seasons or whatever. It's so good.
It's up there.
So we've got North Carolina, University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill camp. A small group of frat boys stood between the protesters and their objective, holding the American flag over their heads and keeping it from touching the ground. It's remarkable how much it looks like Iwo Jima.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is, not all heroes wear capes kind of things. I don't know if we have that picture. Have you seen it yet? Look it up. It's the North Carolina Chapel Hill frat bros raised flag. And so they're trying to take this flag down. The cops come back and are trying to raise the American flag back up, and these fucking toddlers are trying to take it back down when the frat boys are like, no, we are not letting this flag touch the ground. And it's kind of this like all-American response, like, no, you're not going to just take our American flag and shit on it and let it touch the ground. And it looks startlingly like Iwo Jima when the guys are trying to hoist the Marines, I believe it was.
Yeah, the Marines on Iwo Jima.
Yeah, trying to, and it's such a powerful image of them working as a team to raise the flag. And that's sort of what this looks like. If you see, there's a picture of all the guys standing around.
Got another one here.
Raising it up, yeah.
Let me open this new tab.
Yeah. So Phi Kappa Phi brother Guillermo Estrada explained, my frat brothers and others ran over to hold it up. In order for it to not touch the ground, people began throwing water bottles at us, rocks, sticks, calling us profane names. We stood for an hour defending the flag so many fight to protect. Yeah, so there they are. And they look like your typical frat bros.
Yeah.
All white guys.
All wearing polo shirts.
Polo shirts, backpacks, man.
Yep.
But, you know, it's kind of cool. These guys were not going to be intimidated by a bunch of fucking toddler girly
And they're
children.
doing it right. You don't let the U.S. flag hit the ground. That's just the common respect.
Yeah, it is. And so I thought this was hilarious. There was a GoFundMe started for these guys to throw the biggest razor ever in celebration of this. And I don't think it was the frat that started it, but some smartass started a GoFundMe. It raised $500,000 in a day.
God damn. I respect it.
Yeah, it's
The people have spoken, Mike.
I hope they throw a $500,000 rager and they do it like Spicoli.
Yeah.
We're getting Van Halen to play at it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Go get, I don't know what a cool band is today, but go get fucking.
I'm trying to think of like a frat boy band today.
Yeah, it's probably like Chainsmokers or
No, I wouldn't do that.
No, who are the guys? Black Keys or something.
They're a little older. I could find something.
Black Keys, but you'd find like you
could find a couple jams.
Butthole Death.
Yeah.
Or some stupid fucking
I don't
Swedish.
listen to stupid Swedish shit all the time. I have a very wide range.
Dude, you haven't heard Butthole Death yet? They're fucking amazing, man.
I do that sometimes. I won't lie.
They just play one chord.
They're probably jamming
fucking
Bill
amazing.
Murray. I guarantee it.
Huh?
They're jamming Bill Murray.
Bill Murray?
Yeah.
Is that a band?
It's a band.
Yeah.
It's actually one guy.
Well,
who,
the
has
actual
whole
Bill
thing.
Murray, they could probably hire to go and hang out at their party, which
They
would
don't
be
even
sweet
have to hire
too.
him. He just shows up to parties.
That's true. Have you seen
just-
the documentary with him doing
Oh,
that?
yeah, he loves it.
Oh.
Dude, that would be the greatest thing ever.
It's
Just have
great.
Bill Murray show up at your wedding or something.
It's great. I actually made some phone calls at one point
Hell yeah.
around, because he's down in Charleston.
Yeah.
And Ryan Fiorini, who used to listen to this show, used to be a big supporter of this show. I don't think he does anymore,
I
but
think he does.
he's a good dude. But I was like, Ryan, you're one of the most powerful people I know. You've got to know someone that can put me in contact with Bill Murray, because he famously doesn't have a manager or anything. And Ryan actually did some digging around and found someone pretty close, because I guess he's seen around that area all the time.
Yeah.
Not Ryan, but Bill Murray. And yeah, I was trying to get him on to talk about that documentary, but he's got obviously
It's a
better
tough
things to
sell
do
for
with
Bill
him.
Murray, yeah.
Yeah, but he'd probably show up to something like this and
I was
just
going to
do
say,
a
Bill Murray
rager
does whatever the
kegger with
fuck
these
Bill Murray
guys.
wants.
So they
The Bill Murray I'm talking about, by the way, is Bilmuri.
Murray.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
All one word.
We are overwhelmed by you glorious patriotic Americans who value good beer and great times, the GoFundMe page
Hell
said.
yeah.
We're in contact with multiple leaders from frats whose members help defend the flag, including Alpha Epsilon Phi, Pi, and others, in addition to Pi Kappa Psi. Our gratitude goes to all of them, and we will update supporters on what comes next. Commie losers across the country have invaded college campuses to make dumb demands of weak university admins.
Yeah, bruh.
Yeah, they're not wrong, though.
Ain't no fucking commies in my place, bruh.
But amidst the chaos, bros, the screaming, the anti-Semitism, the hatred of faith, and the flag stood a platoon of American heroes. Us. Armored in vineyard vines in Patagonia, fueled by Zin and White Claws. These triumphant Bohemians.
I love that they're playing into it. The Bohemians.
The Bohemians. I love it. We're heroes, man. We're not just bros. We're heroes. Protected Old Glory from the unwashed Marxist horde. Unwashed Marxist horde. It's not wrong.
Yeah.
Laughing at their shrieks and wails and shielding the stars and the stripes from Soviet missiles. Page said funds will be used to throw this frat the party they deserve.
I guarantee they're playing Chief Keef at that party. That's what it is.
Chief Keef?
Chief Keef.
Okay, Chief Keef.
Chief Keef 100%. I'm going with it.
Yeah, I don't hate it. But, God, I hate to do a whole show on immigrants, but it's going to be, that kind of show today.
Protesters and immigrants.
They're, a group of illegals gathered at the Michigan State Capitol building.
Oh, boy.
And they've got demands of their own. Why not? I love the way they put illegals in front of it, not immigrants.
Yeah.
Because if this was just immigrants demand X, and my answer would be, okay, is there something that legal immigrants don't get?
Like if there's a bunch of legal immigrants saying, hey, can we not pay this much money to get in here? If these guys are getting free, we'd be like, yeah, you know what? Let's make the legalization process a little easier. But
or if they said like, hey, as a legal immigrant, I'm not entitled to blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I have to sit at the back of the bus.
yeah, I think that's unfair.
And I think that's unfair.
I've been here 10 years. I still can't get a gun. I think that's unfair.
Yeah, and if you had demands like that, it's like, hey, we're listening to our legal migrant community.
Yeah.
That seems fair. And if there are rules and laws that are unjust simply because you're a legal immigrant, I'm all ears. I'm willing to listen and be like, yeah, that does sound like bullshit. I don't know why that would be.
I'm all for the legal immigrants.
I wouldn't mind hearing both sides and see why they're fucking with you.
Both my step-parents are legal immigrants.
Most of our, on some level, you go far enough down the chain. We all are.
Yeah.
And I have no problem with legal immigrants. It's what makes this country different from any country in the world.
First-generation legal immigrants to the U.S.
And that's fine. It's called a melting pot.
Yep.
You come in, and what happens in a melting pot? Things melt together, and they become one unit together. What you don't want is a salad bowl where everybody comes in and they're all isolated in their groups.
And then you start picking out the tomatoes. You don't want any croutons in there.
Yeah, and this one wants to raise this flag. It's like you're not all uniting together in one workable goulash that works for the country. It's like, no. So when people went out of their way to come here legally, go through the process, put the time in, take the tests, those people came here because they wanted to assimilate.
Yeah.
Do you not see the difference? I don't know why that's so hard for people to see. So these people are demanding lawmakers push through legislation allowing them to obtain driver's license.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
No. The roads are fucked already. Fuck no.
Yeah, exactly. Stick around California enough. Watch the Asians drive.
The drivers
Holy
we have
shit.
currently are a problem.
Yeah. Watching Asians drive, I'm sorry, call me racist, but watching Asians drive is comical.
Maybe the illegals can drive better. I highly doubt it, but the drivers we have on the road right now are a fucking mess.
Unfortunately, to me, when you start the sentence with illegal immigrants, I'm like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah,
I don't care what your fucking demands are.
What are you doing here?
You're not here. You're not
care.
supposed to be here.
You
started out by breaking the law.
Like, I'm going to go to Mexico and just start asking them to give me shit for free.
Yeah, see how far you get with that. Try other countries,
I'll do Canada.
too.
Fuck it. They're pretty nice.
So the rally took place just outside the Michigan House floor on Wednesday as illegals chanted in Spanish and English. What do we want? Driver's license. When do we want them? No.
I don't know, senor.
Tired chant. The rally was in support of Democrat-backed legislation. Of course it's Democrat-backed, which is currently stuck in the committees that would grant driver's licenses to illegals. The state house and state legislation, known as the Drive Safe package, was co-sponsored in the House by Democrats, Majority Floor Leader Abraham Aish, and introduced in the Senate by Democrat Majority Leader Winnie Brinks, among others. Advocates argue the illegal immigrants need access to driver's license so they could just get jobs in the state. No.
You can get a state ID if you want to get a job in the state. You don't need a license.
No. License seems like just one step closer to being able to vote.
Yeah.
To me, too. And come in legally, and then you can get all the fucking IDs you want.
Yeah.
Simple.
If you get here legally, we'll throw a green card. Here's your state ID. Here's your driver's license.
I don't think I can just go to another state in this country as an American citizen. I don't think I can just go to name the state and get an ID for that state. Yeah, I think I need to have an established.
You have to have mail in the area.
Yeah, I have to have a bill that's come in my name.
We're dealing with that with Marina. She just came from Arizona, and you have to have bills coming from your name. You have to have a bunch of things saying
you have to have a location.
Moved. Yep.
Yeah, you can't just go there and be like, "Hi, I'm here for a new ID."
Yeah,
it doesn't work like that.
She's come from Arizona to Michigan. It's not that far.
Drive Safe package will finally allow all Michiganders to engage in our economy, have access to basic freedoms, and do so with the guarantee of safety. If you live in Michigan and have proven you can be a responsible driver, you should be able to obtain a license regardless of your immigration status.
No.
See, that's where we disagree.
I
Sorry.
disagree.
After Democrats took control, and here's really why they want this. Democrats took control of the Michigan legislature following the midterms in 2020. The progressive advocacy group Forge boasted last year that the electoral organizing of those in the state illegally tipped the scale of power in the 38th and 103rd districts, providing Democrats with a small one-seat majority in the House, flipping the seats that flipped the legislature. That was instrumental for changing the playing field and creating a pathway for the drive-safe bills to finally become law. So yeah, that's why they want illegals voting. That's, yeah, of course, if you get a bunch of illegals in there, and this idea that you're going to go to someone else's country and demand.
Yeah, that's what pisses me off the most. It's like, it's one thing if you snuck into a country and you laid low for a long time.
Yeah.
These guys are demanding and they're out and proud. Just like, I came here illegally. I fucking hoofed it here. I don't give a fuck what your laws are, what your rules are.
The nerve.
Yeah.
The gall.
The balls.
The temerity.
Yeah.
I mean, the impudence of it all. It's mind-blowing. The audacity.
I don't even go
the chutzpah. The chutzpah it takes.
I got a fun homework assignment for everybody. Kick your neighbor's door and then ask for a cup of milk.
Yeah, sure.
See what happens.
Or a
And
cup
try
of
not to get
sugar
shot.
or an egg.
Yeah.
Sure.
See if they shoot you on the spot.
It's mind-blowing to me. I just don't understand, because I'm smart enough, as dumb as I am, I'm smart enough to know what would happen if you went to another person's country and tried to just wing your grandiose.
Try to bring
it
your
just shows
American
how
values.
stupid and soft we
Griner.
are. Huh?
Brittany Griner did
Yeah,
that.
sure. How'd that work out for Brit?
She ended up in a Russian prison, then traded for a fucking war criminal.
So here's all the people. The Biden administration, Soup as I call him, clueless asshole, President Soup, called the Japan xenophobic. So xenophobia is what he claims they have for not just letting immigrants run roughshod over their country.
Here's a fun fact about Japan. They fucking hate anything that isn't Japanese.
Yeah, of course they do.
They violently hate it.
Yeah, they believe Japan first.
I have a friend who's black, has a couple tattoos, right? And he went to Japan one time in Tokyo. And even though it's a more populated tourist area, he was barred from businesses, not just for the tattoos, because they'll bar you from businesses for having tattoos there. He was barred for being black. They just say no kokujin, which is no black people. He said, he got kicked out of like 3 different bars just for being black.
Did he protest?
No.
Did he
just
try to
said,
tear
"It's
down the
Japan."
Japanese flag, the period flag from
No, he
state
ended
capitals?
up meeting a Japanese guy who spoke some English and told him what good bars he could go to.
Yeah,
But that's how it is over there in Japan.
So this asshole made the comment Wednesday during a campaign reception in D.C. while arguing that immigration can help to create strong economies. One of the reasons why our economy is growing is because of you and many others. Why? Because we welcome immigrants. We look to the reason. Look, think about it. Why is China stalling so badly economically? Why is Japan having trouble? Why is Russia, India? Because they're xenophobic. They don't want immigrants.
Japan has the lowest murder rate in the entire world.
Yeah.
And the lowest crime rate, I think.
Let them worry about what they do with migrants. And I'll show you how in a second how this has worked out in some countries.
Yeah.
Immigrants is what makes us strong. Not a joke. Anytime Biden says not a joke, what he's saying next is bullshit.
Yeah.
When he says not a joke, it's absolutely a lie. That's not hyperbole because we have an influx of workers who want to be here and just contribute. Yeah, that's true for some.
Yeah.
Here's what he's doing here, okay? When he makes statements like that, what President Soup is actually doing is he's gaslighting you the difference between legal and illegal immigration. So the comments he's making are true when it comes to legal migrants coming to your country and wanting to integrate and establish themselves. The gaslighting part is acting like having a run for the border and just unsealing it for any asshole that wants to come in, and to the tune of millions and millions and millions of people who you have no idea what their health status is. You have no idea what their criminal status background is. You have no idea what their intentions are. They clearly do not want to assimilate with your customs and what this country stands for. Military-age men flooding your border from 160 countries around the globe is silly.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's suicidal.
Especially
in a
the
lot of
military
respects.
age, man. That's what pisses me off too. Is like if you're coming, they're always the ones in Europe especially are coming from the Middle East, where it's because it's war torn and they don't have enough soldiers for Palestine or Ukraine or whatever, and all the fuckers coming over are about my age.
Yeah.
And look like they're ready for fight.
Yeah. So when you're, of course, We all agree. Let's make this clear. Legal immigration makes us stronger. It makes us a melting pot of diversity. It's why we get our greatest cities. You can find restaurants with everything in it. It's authentic and it's awesome.
Yep.
You probably don't get that kind of variety in most countries that do not have this kind of thing. Look at the Olympics. You look at the Olympics alone when welcome to the podium, Team America. Team America looks like every other country in the globe.
Let's be honest.
It does kind of look like Team Africa. But there's Asian athletes and there's fucking black athletes.
You get the best ones in every sport.
Yeah, these are people that have assimilated and become part of the diversity of our nation, and it's what makes us different from all other nations.
Yeah.
You do not see many people in China that look like an American citizen.
You might get the occasional
on
trans
Team
Russian.
China. Huh?
You might get the occasional trans Russian because the only times they're cool with the trans is when it's for.
But they've always
athletic.
looked trans.
Oh yeah,
they've always looked trans, and it's the doping they've done.
You get the woman with the 5-inch clit.
So yeah, so that's the difference. Now, so when you get people uninvited, France thought they would do this.
Yeah,
France was great. Europe, a lot of Europe, but France especially, and France has a real fucking problem on their hands.
France goes up in like a riot every other day.
Oh, yeah. France. I was reading this article, and this goes back a couple months to the beginning of the year. The French weekly Le Journal du Dimanche publishes the most comprehensive and detailed survey on what French Muslims think. Not surprisingly, the results are a tad disturbing.
Yeah.
So this is what you get when you just open your borders to anybody from some foreign country that wants to crash your border and not be like, oh, we want to go to France because France does things different and we want to assimilate and figure out we want to become French citizens and salute that flag and we want to make friends with our neighbors. No. When you just let people crash your border and set up no-go zones and this is our way of life and fuck France, France just gets overrun. So they thought this was going to be some melting pot thing, and we'll just let all these Muslims in from war-torn
just come on
countries.
in and be French citizens now.
Yeah, they're just French.
Yeah.
There's just a bunch of new Pepe Le Pews.
Yep.
Well, it didn't work out like that.
No,
so
it
let's
looks
see.
like they grouped themselves up.
First question in their survey was about the Jew. 17% of French Muslims admit they hate the Jew.
Yeah.
All right. 39% said they have a bad or very bad opinion of Judaism. France is the only country in the 21st century Europe where Jews have regularly been murdered simply because they were, in fact, Jews. When it comes to Israel, the results are even more disturbing. 45% of French Muslims say they want the total destruction of Israel. An equivalent number of French Muslims define the massacre, rape, torture, beheading, and burning alive of Jews by Hamas on October 7th as just an act of resistance.
Sure.
So almost half of a religious community in a Western democracy openly seeks the destruction of a group of people who were just massacred in another country, and in the greatest number since the end of the Holocaust.
You know what the worst part about this is I was going to say, I make a lot of Holocaust jokes growing up just out of humor.
Yeah.
And now it's okay to be xenophobic. Like I used to have to like look around and hide the joke and be like, hey, I got a funny one for you guys. Like, how many Jews can you fit in a Volkswagen?
Dude, I remember my smart ass buddies who had the Hitler t-shirt, Hitler World Tour, and it was sold. All the dates were sold out.
I've got a big blanket.
It had all the places around Europe that Hitler was targeting.
My mom gave me a blanket of Hitler on a little toboggan
Don't say
pajamas.
that your mom did that.
Oh, it was a gift for Christmas. And he's going down a little rainbow. It was just Hitler on a toboggan in his pajamas. I still hang it up like a tapestry in my house.
Yeah. Now you could just wear that out.
Yeah,
it used to be
cool.
like so shocking and rebellious to have Hitler on something or a swastika, like, ooh. And you wouldn't dare wear it out, but maybe you'd show your friends, like, look at this t-shirt I got. And you'd buy it at some fucking weird, some
online site.
Ann Arbor, dark fucking art store, you'd find it or whatever. But now, you could just wear it around.
Yeah.
Be like, half the country would agree with you. 19% of French Muslims say they have sympathy for Hamas. Other figures showed that 42% of French Muslims place respect for Islamic Sharia law above respect for the laws of the French Republic. The percentage rises to 57% among Muslims age 18 to 25. So that's coming. European Court of Human Rights ruled in 2003 that Sharia law is incompatible with the values of democracy.
Yeah.
Sharia law stipulates that Allah has dictated all the rules that human beings must obey, and that all rules contrary to Sharia must be rejected.
Allah also said you can bang 12-year-olds and women have no rights.
He wasn't Allah, or who was it? Who was their guy?
Oh, Muhammad.
Muhammad. Wasn't he
prophet.
fucking a 12-year-old or 11-year-old or 9-year-old? Wait,
Something
no,
like
there's
that.
some dispute. There's some dispute about whether she was 9 or 11 or something like that.
No,
Can't
I
remember.
think he had something to do with 9/11.
Yeah, something. Let's see. The survey further showed that 49% of French Muslims want Catholics to convert to Islam. You dying to do that?
Good luck. No,
No, I'm
not
not
even
either.
Catholic.
And that 36% want churches to be transformed into mosques. That's great.
Oh, good job.
Some churches have already transformed. The survey also discloses that 25% of French Muslims said the word France is a word they reject. So they went to France.
And they're like, we don't say France here.
No. France is one of the only countries in the Western world where men have been beheaded by radicalized Muslims. The other is the United Kingdom, where 2 Muslims tried to behead a British soldier, Lee Rigby, in 2013. Samuel Patty, a school teacher, was beheaded on October 16, 2020. Herve Cornara, a small business entrepreneur, was beheaded on June 26th of 2015 in a small town in southeast France. And Father Jacques Hamel, I remember that one, had his throat slit and was beheaded in July of 2016 in Normandy. He was saying mass. It was almost an empty
Well, those are just the
church.
beheadings, too. We're not even talking about the acid attacks
Or the stabbings.
or the stabbings.
Yeah. France is the largest country in Europe with the, happens to be the country in Europe with the largest number of no-go zones. Those are sweet. Where
Oh, yeah.
they're like, cops, you can't even go there.
Yeah, they just block it off. It's Sharia now.
There are at least 751 designated zones urbaines sensibles, sensitive urban zones. Yeah.
That's what we
where
call 'em now.
Muslim gangs and radical imams are in charge. Non-Muslims can still live there on the condition
I think I can get away with that at work.
they accept the status of tolerated second-class citizen, bow their heads, and admit they live in a territory ruled by Islam.
Oh, good fucking job, Islam.
France is a country where more than 70% of prison inmates are Muslim. So how do we feel about all that immigration, France?
Oh,
Digging
they're
that
probably
still?
happy with it. They're virtue signaling.
Throughout France, Jewish men conceal their skull caps under a hat, so they wear a hat over their hat.
Yep. Got a bigger hat
Jewish
for your little hat.
Jewish women tuck their Star of David necklaces inside their clothing. For more than 20 years, it's been impossible to talk about the Holocaust in French schools.
Yeah.
Can't even talk about it. For years, when a Jewish student is bullied in a public school, the authorities have taken no action against the bullies. Instead, they might ask the Jewish child's parents to get him into another school. Del Akbar.
Yep.
More than 120 knife attacks take place in France every single day. Can happen anytime, anywhere. Most of these attacks are committed by Muslim men who then tell police that they did it because they hate infidels and France. Only the knife attacks that result in death appear in the newspapers. The others are passed over in silence. There are also more than 200 rapes every day in France, most perpetrated by Muslim men who entered France illegally. Only 7% of illegal immigrants ordered to leave France are ever deported. The president of the National Rally Party, Marine Le Pen, has limited herself to denouncing the presence in France of an Islamist ideology totally distant from Islam, and insists on saying that only a tiny minority of Muslims adhere to this ideology. France Unsubmitted, the main left-wing political party in France, is violently anti-Israel. Its leader, Jean-Luc Mélenchon, calls Hamas a resistance movement. He received 22% of the vote in 22,
Good.
but
Get him out.
69% of the Muslim
Nice.
vote. 69. In Germany, Sharia-controlled zones have also begun to appear. They have also been emerging in Belgium, Sweden, and the Netherlands. So something to look forward to, America. Something to look forward to, possibly in the future for us. Just assuming that illegal immigration is going to go swimmingly for your country, I don't think so. I really do think you need to focus on legal immigration. People that are looking for a better life, that want to assimilate and join in with the team.
Yeah.
They want to join the team because they go, those fuckers over there have it right. Where we're doing it isn't working for me, and I want to give my future generations a better chance. You almost sacrifice your small window of life for your children's. That's what immigrants do. They get harassed a little bit. They get made fun of because they don't speak the language well enough. They have a much harder time, first generation, when the people come over with young children and they don't speak the language. There's so much lost in translation that you really see the benefit payoff when your children come up behind you, who have learned the language, who do know the subtleties, that do assimilate, and then they go on to do great things.
Want to be American citizens and want to do the things of the country that they moved to because they moved out of a worse place.
So it's not that you don't like other people or people that don't look like you. It's like, no. I just respect my culture, just like these people respect theirs, but I'm not forcing my way into their culture and demanding you adhere to mine. But if you're going to come over here and be a part of this culture, I don't think it's outrageous to expect you to assimilate in some fashion. It doesn't mean you completely throw out your heritage and you don't celebrate, in your own way. We have fucking Italian Day parades and Mexican parades in these cities all the time, and nobody has a problem with it. It's just fine if you wanna remember where you came from and blah blah blah. That's fine. No one has a problem with that.
Yeah.
Oh boy, things are heating up for the your Nickelodeon guy.
Oh boy,
Dan.
Yep, Dan Schneider.
Yeah, you don't like Dan Schneider.
Dan Dickens Schneider.
I see. That's the problem, dude. Right there, Dickens Schneider. I see what you did, you smartass. Dan Snyder didn't fuck any of those kids.
No, but he was creepy with them.
Says you.
You just got the fat defense. You see yourself a
that's
little
not
bit
the
in
fat.
that,
No,
scary.
I was never fat growing up.
Look, all I'm saying is Dan
off.
Schneider has been a target of ridicule for years now.
I know, but you guys,
Everyone else is just
your
getting on it.
generation and younger are pussies.
It's not just my
and
generation.
You have been. Yes, it is.
One of my other favorite shows, ROTC. They've been tackling this guy for almost 8 years now.
Mm-hmm. Same age group. I just
They're
find
like 35, 40.
I just find it hard to go, oh, kids got splashed with water in their face. Obviously, he meant coming.
Well, no,
maybe.
that's too far, yeah.
And the foot fetish thing. I mean,
Come on.
maybe. Yes, it's a little
It's
creepy.
a little too much.
It is when you're an adult.
And
I made this
also-
argument before that kids like dumb shit, like smell my feet.
But also, I was going to say
Slime
one of my
and throwing
big
water
things
on
too
each
is
other.
like Dan Schneider also was kind of the guy who let a lot of that shit go on.
Yeah,
So I do think
you
he's
mean the
compliant with
kid
a lot of it.
fuckers?
Yeah, because
Well-
even if he wasn't the one doing the kid fucking and creepy shit, whatever, Brian Peck was still there. He still had the other guys who were doing that shit.
But if I worked with a lot of people at Greater Media, now,
Okay.
is it safe to say that one of them might have been a pedophile? Maybe. I don't know.
But you think like if it's such an open thing or such a big thing, it might be something that you might want to, as a company, get rid of.
Well, do you have a bigger problem with Disney for hiring Brian Peck after he was a convicted
I got a
child?
problem with both of them, but Disney a little bit more so because that was after the conviction.
After the
Like,
fact.
they know. And that's why I said, like, Dan Schneider's got to be complicit.
But did
in a lot
Dan
of this.
Schneider know? Like,
He has to.
First off, if you're around Hollywood and you're around those types of people, there's a
Yeah.
lot of fruity fuckers in all of them. Most of them have lisps. Most of them are flamboyant and artsy. And it's like, oh, wow, are you sure you're just not a homophobe? It's like, that's what they said to the one dad when he was like, I don't like the way this fucking guy is touching my son. And they're like, you sure you're not a homophobe? It's like, yeah, I don't care that he's a homo. I don't like the way that he's touching my fucking son.
Yeah.
And it turns out he was fucking your son, too. So you were right, Dad. Well, Dan Snyder, former Nickelodeon producer, and I just think this is my personal thought anyways. Anytime you have an entire group of people watch a documentary and then just go, him, bad, he definitely, da-da-da, like, maybe, but you better do more than that. There better be a court of law that agrees with that, or at least some accusations. But this dude, it's like, he was in a hot tub with a kid. And it's like, yeah, he was surrounded by 80 cameras. What are you talking about? It was a publicity stunt. It looked like on the set, right? Like that thing with, was it Amanda Bynes?
Yeah, it
or
was
one
in
of
the
those
hot tub and everything. And I
in
know
the
he
hot
was
tub, and he was
like,
wearing
had the
clothes.
clothes and stuff. But I'm not talking about that specifically. I'm just talking about Dan Schneider as a person altogether has put too many things in those shows that are a little foot focused, a little weird. I know you're just saying it's just kids comedy, but like Cartoon Network doesn't have a whole thing going out right now about how weird their shows are. And
but Cartoon Network is cartoon.
yeah, but you also
Nickelodeon's
live
not
shows for a
cartoons.
minute, but like you don't see a lot of these like even the Disney stars right now. Like Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus isn't coming out saying she was groomed and raped, even though they hired Brian Peck. It's like Nickelodeon's the only one right now getting targeted.
Yeah, that's true. But it's also easy once the arrows are pointed at someone. And look, man, I agree. You are way closer to this than I am.
Yeah.
You remember these shows. These are long after my childhood days.
Yeah.
I remember the first days of people being slimed on, and I come back to, well, no adult wants to be slimed. Kids love it.
Yeah.
No adult wants to have water gun fights for the most part. Kids do. Kids want to have water balloon fights. They want to throw cups of water in each other's faces. They want to fucking make you smell their feet. Like that's shit kids do that adults don't.
Yeah.
And so seeing TV programming like that, like, okay, you hired a bunch of kid fuckers. That's a real problem. But tying that to Dan Snyder because he was kind of the boss over there, I think he was a dork and he maybe had a foot fetish. And it's certainly, they make a good case for it. But there doesn't seem to be any reports of any kids going, you know what, the massage part's kind of creepy. I will give you that.
Yeah.
Where he had writers and whoever. It sounded like whatever power he could wield, he would. I'm so glad Drew never asked anybody for a massage.
I know, that'd be
or
a little
Clark.
weird. I just feel like even when you get that one coworker who's a little too touchy-feely, like, oh, bring it in for a hug or something.
Yeah.
No, fuck off, dude. Don't touch me.
It is a little weird.
I'm at work. I don't know you that well.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
And I don't want to act like I'm making excuses. He made me cringe too, Dan Schneider. There's something about the dork who becomes like cool in a way
Plus
because
his apology video was very self-incriminating. The one with Boogie where he sat down and did that super scripted interview.
Wait, the apology one I saw was like, I owe a lot of people some apologies.
Yeah,
for
where
my
you sitting around with
behavior.
that black guy Boogie.
I don't know if I saw that one.
Oh, it's a great video. I should
Is
probably
it?
find it. Yeah.
So he's 58 years old. He made a public apology for his behavior after the documentary first aired.
Yeah.
Quiet on Set is what we're talking about.
I think
it's a fascinating documentary.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, it's a 4-part documentary.
It's 20 minutes
good.
though.
I believe it's on HBO. So it's his former colleagues telling stories of a toxic workplace, what they saw as questionable actions. Sound like he didn't respect chicks as much.
Yeah.
Like he made 2 female writers split a salary, which was bullshit. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
But I think they were really young at the time, also. And so, it's a lot easier to take advantage of interns and young people first starting out.
Yeah, I
like,
get that.
You're not being paid to be here right now.
No, I'm getting taken advantage of.
Exactly. I wasn't paid when I first started. So is that one of those things here? I would think if you're hired as a writer on a show like that, they would give you an equal salary to what a writing salary is. But I don't know how that works.
I've said this a lot with like the women. People are like, well, women aren't getting paid as much as men. I'm like, women historically don't argue their salaries as much as men do.
True.
That's one of the things where it's like at my company, when you come in, there's no set pay rate. You argue for what you think you're worth and what your work is worth. Everyone in my
There's
company
arguments
makes
for
different money.
that. There's other arguments too about danger
Or
and
what
career
fields they go
choices
into,
and
yes.
there's all kinds of things. I've also heard that a lot of that is bullshit. That if you get into the nuts and bolts of the laws, Jay used to talk about this because Jay used to focus on this, and he's like, "Trust me, it's not all bullshit that women are paid less. It's
No, I know there is some truth to it. And again, that's one of those things where I always think it's women kind of playing themselves.
a lot of it is, but should they have to?
But like you talk to an executive woman, they're also pretty mean towards other women. Like women stand in women's way more than men do a lot of the time.
True in some cases. I had the boss I've talked about, Shelly, when I worked at Nippon Express doing some airport runs and stuff, which was a importer-exporter company out of Japan. And Shelly was my boss. She was the best boss I ever had.
Yeah.
Super fair, super hot too. Almost as hot as your mom. But she was cool as hell, fair. You didn't dare hit on her because you just knew. You just respected her too much. She was fucking awesome. Loved her. So Dan at the time, after watching the first couple episodes, said, watching over the past 2 nights was very difficult, me facing my past behaviors, some of which are embarrassing and that I regret. I definitely owe some people a pretty strong apology. That apology was not enough for people like you. I didn't know enough about the situation, so it was fine for me. Dan never did anything to me. The new lawsuit states that while he takes responsibility for his actions, Quiet on Set was a hit job, which insinuated that Schneider sexually abused the children who worked on his TV shows. I don't know if that's a good argument. I did not get the impression that documentary hinted heavily towards Dan fucking kids.
Yeah.
I didn't. Did you watch the documentary in the end?
I didn't end up watching it. I've known so much about this shit going forward, but it's one of those
You should
things
probably
where
watch it.
I should. I just haven't gotten it on my list yet.
While it is indisputable that two bona fide child sexual abusers worked on Nickelodeon shows, it is likewise indisputable that Schneider had no knowledge of their abuse, was not complicit in the abuse, condemned the abuse once it was discovered, and critically was not a child sexual abuser himself.
Yeah.
Now, that guy started out as Pickle Boy on those shows, Brian Peck.
Yeah.
Right? That was one of the characters, and he would have a tray full of pickles. Now, when you're talking about the foot fetish thing, well, in adult terms, yes, foot fetish is a real thing.
Yeah.
When you talk about squirting liquids in kids' faces, and it can, if you want to, you can look at that as coming in a kid's face.
Yeah.
Totally understand how you can get there. I also made the point about but kids do dumb shit like that with feet and splashing liquids. That was my point. Now, Brian Peck and the Pickle Boy bit that he developed, where he's sticking pickles through what looks like glory holes in doors, and making kids take bites of them and almost deep throat these things. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Everybody knew those were representing cocks.
And not just Pickle Boy. I mean, Dan Schneider's done this so often and gotten called out for it so often.
But Brian Peck was doing that.
Yes.
That was Brian Peck's
I know
bit.
Peck was doing that, but what I'm saying about the feet thing is if Dan Schneider's been called out 3-4 times now about his foot thing, you think the Nickelodeon would come and be like, hey, let's just not do foot jokes for a little while. Let's lay low on this shit.
My point is, I'm not above saying I know what you're doing here, and that's totally inappropriate. Yeah. Kids, smell my feet. Stick your foot in another guy's. No adult does that. No adult walks up to another adult and sticks his foot and goes, smell my feet.
And Nickelodeon's
dumb
fucked up
kids
a lot of
do.
Times with that
but
shit.
My point is, you can't have something phallic like a pickle, sticking it through a fucking glory hole and making kids suck on it.
Yeah.
And go, oh yeah, it's just kids like stuff no. I can get behind the fucking feet shit or even the liquid stuff. I can understand where it's for kids are into dumb shit. The pickle dick sucking thing, I don't know if you blame Schneider. At the end of the day, the buck stops with him.
That's what I was going to say. Somebody there's got to be somebody down the line who at any point who said, hey, let's not do this one. Anyone.
And you would think that there's a lot of people that are involved in those decisions. Maybe so. And maybe it all ends with Schneider. Hey, he's a hit machine. Everything this guy puts on the air turns into a hit. So we're not telling him. And maybe Dan Snyder behind the scenes with executives was a dickhead going, oh, I'm sorry. Have your last 3 shows been number 1 on the network?
He has been called out for being a total dickhead.
Probably. And I don't know any executive that's not.
No.
Name one, especially in entertainment.
Exactly.
Of course they think they're the reason their shows are a hit. Of course. And so for them, they're like, no, if I want to do fucking smell my foot shit or squirting liquids in kids' faces, when my show comes in 10th for child programming, then you can take issue with it. Until then, eat dicks. Eat the whole bag. And if I hired Brian Peck and he wants to do Pickle Boy, as weird as that is, who knows what was being said in those meetings? I don't know.
I think Brian Peck was trying to do Lawn Boy.
Yeah, he was. He definitely was. Defendants have destroyed Schneider's reputation and legacy through the false statements and implications that Schneider is exactly that, a sexual abuser himself. At times, he was blind to the pain that some of his behaviors caused certain colleagues, subordinates, and cast members. He will regret and atone for his behavior the rest of his life. One thing he is not, and the one thing that will never mar his reputation and career, both past and present, is a child sexual abuser. After seeing Quiet on the Set and its trailer and the reactions to them, I sadly have no choice but to take legal action against the people behind it. In their successful attempt to mislead viewers and increase ratings, they went beyond reporting the truth and falsely implied that I was involved in or facilitated horrific crimes for which actual child predators have been prosecuted and convicted. I have no objection to anyone highlighting my failures as a boss, but it is wrong to mislead millions of people to the false conclusion that I was in any way involved in heinous acts like those committed by child predators. I owe it to myself, family, and wonderful people involved in making these shows set the record straight. So I think this is, I wish you would have seen this documentary, honestly, because there's just more little, and you don't need to now because the story's almost
all
done.
right. Well, this interview, too, like I said, does not help him.
Well, we can play that in a second, but I will say, honestly, I watched this with an open mind. I know we have listeners that think I'm an asshole for my opinions on this.
That's fine.
That agree with you. That's fine. I get it. I do not think this is a fair lawsuit by Dan Schneider because I did not get the impression in any way that they tried to tie sexual predator, sexual assaulter, or child rapist
To him directly. Yeah.
In fact,
And-
I think they went out of their way to make it pretty clear.
And
At least that's my recollection.
Dan Schneider is definitely fucking creepy. I don't think he's a rapist.
No, I don't think so
wanna
either.
make that
And I
clear.
think people would absolutely come
Yeah.
out and say it. I think there were kids that thought, oh my God, I'm a superstar. Nickelodeon hired me and I'm signing autographs.
Yeah.
That is intoxicating to sign autographs, to take pictures with fans.
Oh, I get it.
Believe me.
I'm signing those little fag passes and I'm like, oh, I'm a celebrity.
Yeah, wait till you go to an event and
Yeah.
people want a picture with you or want to talk to you.
Can't wait.
It's intoxicating.
Yeah.
It is. There's no way around that. And you're way more prepared to deal with that and put it in perspective when you're an adult than you are when you're a kid. So for a lot of the kids that were interviewed that are now in their 20s and 30s that didn't turn into fucking the next Tom Cruise when they left Nickelodeon, they were used
Yep.
as cute kids, paid, and then told to fuck off and unhireable. They're bitter. They think I must be wronged because look how brilliant I was as a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
And those people are bitter, and that's what I saw anyways.
It's the System of a Down song, Lost in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That whole song is just about people going
Yes.
to Hollywood and not getting their dreams realized, and they're just getting used and thrown around and
And
treated
these
like shit.
people did have
That's
their
Hollywood.
dreams realized
Yep.
and then stomped on.
Yeah.
And then they realized, oh, all these people that kissed your ass for 5 years while you were a cute kid really didn't give a shit about you.
Once your voice
at
dropped,
all.
a lot of your jobs dropped too.
Yeah. And that's why your parents are integral parts of your lives
Yep.
to support you through this stuff. Because you get the impression when you're 8 that all adults respect you and all
world's gonna be
adults
handed
love
to
you.
you.
And the world is going to be handed to you like it has been. And reality sets
Nope.
in.
Unless you pull a Keenan Thompson,
Nobody
get
gives a
yourself into
shit.
SNL right after Nickelodeon.
Sure.
You're fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't work
You
for
got
most
to be
people.
lining up your jobs growing up.
So for Dan's part in this, I don't know where this lawsuit goes. Maybe he's got a case. I don't think so because I think they made it clear, especially with Drake Bell,
Yeah.
that kid made comments that Dan Schneider was awesome for him. He was supportive. He was genuine. You know, when
Yeah.
he found out about the abuse going on and this kid being fucked and raped and
well, that was
with
fucked up.
objects and like that dude,
Yeah.
that kid was
And that's what I was saying. It's
horribly
like,
raped.
as much as it's fucked up that Drake Bell has to come out to say it, the hardest part is Drake Bell's already been canceled for raping another,
Yeah.
like not raping, but
Yeah.
inappropriately contacting 14-year-olds.
15, I
15,
believe.
yeah.
But yeah.
So it's like,
But
it sucks
you know
so
what?
much.
It's weird. And I talked to my mom about this. My mom has a past with this sort of thing
Yeah.
with
Correctional
it's horrible
facilities and stuff,
No,
yeah.
no. I mean
Okay.
personal. Like
boy.
I have people in my family that have dealt with this personally.
Yeah.
It's horrible on every fucking level. And you know, it's very hard to stop that cycle of abuse. You know, as they say, hurt people hurt people.
Yep.
Now, I'm not making an excuse for Drake Bell, but I was surprised at how unsurprised my mom was by that.
Yeah.
Because her and I, when we weren't able to stay here, we watched that documentary. And she was fascinated by it. And she was not shocked when I told her Drake Bell has been accused credibly
Yep.
of sexually inappropriate
with receipts and all.
yeah. And you know, she was unfazed by that and unshocked by that.
Yeah.
Which I was shocked by it, but I was never fingered by an uncle.
Yeah.
I was never raped by someone or fondled by anybody. I skated through early childhood
of the
unharmed.
lucky ones.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever were. Sounds horrific, but you know,
It does.
I don't know, but yeah, it's surprising to me because I'm trying to like get that concept through my head. Like, wait a minute, this person knows the absolute worst of this. He was penetrated by objects.
Yeah.
He was penetrated by Brian Peck. It was horrible, the abuse that kid underwent.
Yeah.
And I know the terminology I'm making is not helping.
No, well, this is still a comedy show at the end of the
I
day.
know it is, but
If
still,
we can't laugh at the fucked up world, then what are we laughing at? Come on.
exactly. That how could that kid then in turn, just a few short years later, be accused of behaving in a similar fashion to some other vulnerable young person? It
Yeah.
just doesn't make sense. And my mom was trying, rather unsuccessfully, to explain that this is way more
A very
common
hard
than you
concept,
realize.
Yeah,
It
but
it
you
just
see it all
is.
the time. Well, that's the not just the joke, I guess, but it's a common thing where it's like all these trans people that are coming out, and it's like, why do they want to talk to kids? Why do they keep getting near kids? Why do they keep touching kids?
Yeah,
It's
why
like,
do they?
It's because most of the time the trans people were touched, and that's how they ended up trans. That seems to be a big factor in a lot
You
of
made
cases.
that statement, and you're
I
part
know.
of the
I will
community.
make that statement. This isn't Marina's case, not that I know of, but it's one of those things where like 9 times out of 10, the trans person will come out and they've been touched as a kid, and that's why they're getting in contact with kids. It's just the recidivism rate is huge.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
So I keep telling people, get the trans people away from the fucking kids, because most of them have their own sexual abuse that they need to deal with.
Yeah.
And they're going about it the wrong way.
And it's kind of obvious when you see it.
Yeah.
It kind of
Once
is.
you look at a trans person, you're like, oh, you were touched weird, weren't you?
Hey, I should mention this. This part of the show is brought to you by the Backcourt Restaurant in Clarkston.
This child molestation was brought up.
Yeah. They said anytime you're doing child porn or child molestation, please. It's located in the Deer Lake Athletic Club. The Backcourt combines first-class service with a relaxed, friendly atmosphere and a chef-inspired menu. They have daily dinner specials throughout the week, live music on Friday nights, and on Friday and Saturdays, the best damn prime rib in town. So next time you're heading out for dinner or drinks, stop by the Backcourt Restaurant in Clarkston. Get your pens ready. Call them, 248-625-8686, or visit DeerLakeAthleticClub.com. Again, that's 248-625-8686, DeerLakeAthleticClub.com. And go see Forey. Forey's awesome.
He's such a nice guy.
Forey's family runs the Deer Lake Athletic
He's the
Club.
friendliest man I've
He
ever
is.
seen in a restaurant.
And I guarantee you, he'll buy you a drink,
Yeah.
and he'll come hang out with your table. And he loves talking about the show. He wants to meet as many of you listeners as can come in there.
monsters as
and
possible.
He said, dude, it's remarkable. It blows him away every time. His family, the bar staff, the wait staff, they're like, these people are amazing. These monsters. Yeah, we
Good
keep hearing they're
representation.
monsters. They tip well. They're super friendly.
Yep.
They're just super nice people. They're fun to party with. I'm like, yeah, no shit. They're awesome. So go in there, support them. We don't have a ton of support on this show. For the support that we do have, we ask that you guys go support them. Support MyPillow. Honestly, MyPillow.com. Go to radiofor1.com. Everything that supports us.
Absolutely.
There's the Amazon link. Easy. Just go to radiofor1.com. Click on our Amazon link. Shop as normal. Amazon Canada is there. MyPillow. Just use promo code TDC.
Amazon.
Links to our Patreon page. Best way to support the show. I put one of the funniest goddamn Drew and Mike things ever in the members area. It's funny but real names. I put that in there yesterday because we couldn't do a show. I did like 4 pieces, including a butt mic in there.
Oh, hell
There's, but funny but real names. Holy shit, is Drew an absolute master on this one. It's awesome. So please support the people that support us. It's going to be a little bit of a bumpy road as we transition here. Yes, transition into the move and whatnot. Garrett and I are doing what we can each day to keep this thing on the rails as much as we can until I get out west and can set up and finalize.
We're trying to just let people know we're not leaving yet.
No, we're not going.
It's going.
We're not going anywhere. This show will be here hopefully
It's up
for
and
a
down,
long
but we're
time.
going.
But trust me, it will get stabilized.
Think about it like
I know
a
what
car.
I'm doing.
It was driving before, now you got to put it in the shop for a little bit, and it'll be driving again later.
It'll be stabilized sooner than later, but we've got to finish up here. We've got to finish up and get out there, and then we'll be able to move forward and get this thing going. So these few people that are supporting us, and I mean it, the few of you, with sponsors like Deer Lake Athletic Club, Nick, who you're going to read a read for here right
the
now,
patrons.
and the Patreon members are
The super
a godsend.
chatters.
The super chatters. I'm going to give that money to
super
Garrett.
chats.
I say, are there any? Probably not. But if
Not
there
today,
are,
but I do got one comment I want to pull out, and that's just my dad saying good afternoon, but he said happy birthday, Eli. It's my brother's birthday today.
oh, happy
so
birthday,
happy birthday to
Eli.
my brother.
There you go. Go ahead, do that read, and then we'll do another story or two.
Yep. Speaking of our sponsors, this part of the show is brought to you by Your Insurance Expert. Are you paying too much for health insurance? Are you uninsured? Health insurance can be confusing. Nick Matthews from Your Insurance Expert is an expert in health insurance, life insurance, and Medicare supplements, so you don't have to be. Call Nick Matthews at 248-914-1173. That's 248-914-1173.
All right, you could have stalled that longer.
Sorry, I was working on it. Well, I was hoping you were stalling. I was looking for a video earlier.
Ed
that's been
would stop.
scrubbed.
Ed texted a half hour ago, and he's like, "Hey, you're going to be there in 20 minutes." And so I wanted to see him, but I'm
He's
like,
in our
"Dude,
Facebook comments.
was he?
Yeah, he said, "Who did Mike work with that was maybe a pedophile?"
Who did I work with?"
No, you were just making a joke about working with a pedophile.
Oh,
'cause we were talking about
I
Dan
don't
Schneider.
know, man. But there could
There's
be,
a
but it doesn't
potential.
mean Drew knew about it or I knew about
Yeah,
it.
I get that.
Yeah, I don't know. I imagine Ed hated the show today. He probably loves the illegal immigrants. No one, Ed.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
That liberal bitch.
Melissa McCarthy.
Uh-oh.
Melissa McCarthy.
Speaking of liberal bitches.
Sort of funny, I guess, right?
Sometimes.
I didn't mind her in some of the movies. It's like, stay in your lane, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Okay, just do your comedy movies.
Yeah.
Make people laugh. I don't want to hear you, like pushing narratives and shit.
I don't like
that,
hearing
but
any actor or actress push narratives.
No,
it's
I
like you're an
don't either.
actor, just do your thing and do it well. That's all I ask.
Leave it to us professionals.
Like my
to
favorite
push
actors are the
narratives.
ones who shut the fuck up and just do their roles.
Yeah. Melissa McCarthy reacted to backlash against Barbara Streisand. This is almost gonna Streisand affect it
They're gonna
again.
start, yeah.
You know,
I think Barbara Streisand knows what it is now. She's like, watch this. I'm
Yeah.
a master of this. They named it after me.
she should know what it is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she's the inventor of the Streisand.
Don't look
effect.
at my house. Nope.
So, she asked Melissa McCarthy if she was taking Ozempic.
Yeah.
And Melissa McCarthy, is it safe to say that part of the joke is that she's the fat chick?
Yeah.
Is that
usually
part of
that's
the joke in the
yeah.
movie?
It's like a Rebel Wilson type.
Yeah, but is it like, because Melissa McCarthy's talented and funny.
Yeah.
I think her husband, Ben, I think that's his name. I think he's been good, and she always puts him in her movies. But I'm trying to think if it's like, oh, every comedy troupe needs the fat chick.
Yeah.
Every comedy troupe needs the Chris Farley. They need the Melissa
fat guy in a little
McCarthy.
coat.
Right. It worked with guys. Don't give a shit. Like the fat guy, whatever. That's
Yeah.
fine. Women tend to take more issue with that. I think, like, oh, the fat chick's the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if Melissa McCarthy was just there because she's a funny chick or because she's the fat chick.
I think
too.
it started like she was the fat chick who could also be funny because she is genuinely funny
Yeah.
sometimes. I'll give her that.
Absolutely.
So it's one of those things where it's like you kind of now you have your Chris Farley, where it's somebody who's fat but also can play with it.
Right.
And I think she does that.
Honestly, I would not want
good
to
on
see
him.
a skinny Chris Farley.
No.
Like, honestly, Chris Farley.
I'd rather see an alive one, but that was
Yeah.
drugs, not the fat.
Absolutely.
It would have been the fat later.
So there was a video posted on Instagram with Melissa McCarthy, and she broke her silence about Streisand's comment while appearing to read a copy of Barbara, celebrating an icon. So she's got a copy of Streisand's book,
Yeah.
and she's holding it up, and she says, Barbara Streisand fan club members only. The takeaway, Barbara Streisand knows I exist. She reached out to me, and she thought I looked great. I win the day.
Okay.
Great response
That's
from
perfect.
Melissa McCarthy. Streisand was slammed for asking McCarthy if she had joined the celebrity fad and taking Ozempic for weight loss.
Which, in today's day and age, is not that bad of a question. I know it's one of those things where like, oh, you're fat. You're looking
Yeah.
fat. But it's like Ozempic has like a certain thing that's been doing to people's faces where it sinks their cheeks in. You can totally tell.
Yeah.
It's getting to the point where it's like people are like, you can kind of see they're calling it Ozempic face and shit like that.
Okay.
And I can totally see, Barbara Streisand just being kind of old and Barbara Streisand just, hey, are you on that new Ozempic shit?
Well, she said, so this was in the comment section on a post Melissa McCarthy made and said, so she's 82, not Melissa McCarthy, but
Yeah, Barbara
Streisand.
Streisand, yeah.
Give Shankman my regards. Did you take Ozempic? The post has since been deleted, but screenshots.
82-year-old, it was probably just innocent. Like, hey, how's that shit working? Like, I was thinking about trying it myself.
It was probably meant to be a DM.
Yeah,
It was probably meant as like,
I can see that too.
Hey, like, here's the thing, and people need to wrap their fucking dumb heads around this.
Yeah.
When you have people who their entire lives have been pigs, okay?
Yeah.
Fatzos, Oprah Winfrey. When you're talking about Rebel Wilson.
Yep.
When you're talking about Melissa McCarthy.
And somehow in 1 year they lost
And
it
all of a sudden, you see them 3 months later and they look rail thin and they're bragging about how hot they are.
Yep.
Don't for a second think we're not all going, wait a minute.
You didn't work that off.
You never
That was
wanted
not
to be fat.
Diet and exercise.
One thing is for certain. Nobody, and I mean fucking nobody, I don't care if it's Adele or if it's the fat Lizzo, nobody, no matter what they say, wants to be fat. And it's the argument I've made forever. If I could snap my fingers and be skinny, everybody would choose that. Everybody. So, when all of a sudden, all of these celebrities who have fought and yo-yoed their entire... Oprah's been in the public eye for 50 fucking years. That fat bitch has tried 1,000 times. All of a sudden, she's skinny and denying Ozempic. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. We all know what's going on. I don't care. What, dude, believe me, if you're a big fat person and they go, well, it might give you Ozempic face, but you'll be, do you know the difference in 15 pounds
I was about
body
to say,
weight?
it's come out that Ozempic's making like a lot of its users shit their own bones out, and people are still trying to get a hold of it. That's
Dude.
how much they want to be skinny.
Do you know, look, when I was at my heaviest and I had out of control blood sugars, this is what this was, because when I got that mildly under control, I went back down to a normal sort of fat person weight of like 195 pounds.
No, that's not bad.
So my whole time at the Drew and Mike show was between 175 and 185 pounds. So all my 20s, 30s, all that shit. And then my blood sugars got so out of control. In California, I was 140 or 243 pounds. Ooh. 243. And it was like, holy fuck. I was walking miles a day, watching my calories and still gaining weight.
Yep.
Blood sugars under control, right down to I lost 50 pounds in a month. And I was not taking Ozempic or anything like that.
That's what a lot of those diets are.
So,
If you just cut sugar out, it's good.
My point is the difference in the way your body feels at 240, and Melissa McCarthy is bigger than 240, and so is Oprah. When you're 240 and you're used to being 195, getting up from the couch, walking to your bedroom up 6 steps, going to a concert and walking in the aisle or walk into your seat and up a flight of stairs to get to the second level. Those things are way harder when you're 230, 240 and it versus 195.
I had a bit of an obese friend
Horrible.
one time. Yeah.
Dude, this is something you wouldn't know anything about. But
No, I
but
know.
for these people, they would be willing to take Ozempic face. Trust me, they would. And so I don't think it's out of line when you see someone who's been fat their whole lives going, what do you want, Ozempic now? Or especially if it's Fred. This was probably a DM that went Ari with an 82-year-old bag.
Yeah.
I don't think, and if you think about it, why would Barbara Streisand go out of her way to make an insulting comment to a fat chick publicly? It makes no sense. She's been in the public eye for 70 years. Like, there's no way Barbara Streisand would do that.
No.
Of course, if you want to just act like all of a sudden she's turned into an asshole. Well, no, that's not how that works. So my guess is it was a harmless, meaningless question. I'm glad Melissa McCarthy took it that way. Now, my guess is, too, they'll figure out something kind of like they did. Viagra was not a hard-on drug. It was a heart medication that happened to give people rage, just fucking rock hard-ons.
Yeah.
And so it's like, this is the medication. Well, it's not for hearts anymore. It's just for hard-ons.
Well, it's the same thing with like Silly Putty. They're just trying to make a new compound for Jeep tires in the war. And they're like, well, now we got a toy.
Yeah,
Plug it.
look at the new toy.
Don't work.
Nerds was the same way, the candy, Nerds. They were making a different candy, and then all the shit that was left over afterwards
M&Ms.
made these little fucking nerd candies, and they're like, fuck it, put it in a box. People loved it. It's
M&Ms
awesome.
were they were just looking for some way to get chocolate to the front line without it melting.
There you go.
That's all they needed.
Yeah. So I don't remember where I was going, but these people would be willing to. My guess is they'll find the compound in Ozempic or Mounjaro or any of these drugs that are making people lose weight, but they're gonna, because this is bigger than hard-on drugs.
Yeah.
Like making 85-year-olds be able to get rock hard again. Poor ladies.
Yeah.
But being able to do that is huge. If you're able to take fat Americans, fat Western culture, and make them skinny, game changer.
I was going to say, there's only
There's
3 drugs that if you could invent, you'd be the most rich person on the planet. You'd be the
Big
richest
dicks.
person ever. I was going to say, bigger dick, grow your hair back, and lose all your weight.
Dude, you are so right about grow your hair back.
Yeah.
Grow your hair back. I'm lucky. I haven't lost my hair, and I'm an old man.
Oh, my brother's losing his, and he turned 22
It sucks.
today.
My brother
I hate
lost
it.
his.
I'm sad. I feel bad for him because
It
I
sucks,
got
dude.
all this nice hair, and he's
Yeah.
losing his now. And I'm like,
Well,
fuck.
hopefully by the time he's losing it, it'll be something where I just can't believe they haven't figured out how to grow hair back yet. It's
That's
remarkable.
what I'm saying. You know, it's like that's why I said it's like the first person to invent that pill that makes your hair grow back, like it
But
was before.
fat is the other one, because fat has so many other health issues that come because of it.
Yeah.
Your bones break down. Everything about you breaks down. Your internal organs are having to work twice as hard to carry that weight.
If you sleep the wrong way,
So-
it gets compressed.
Yeah. So it's something that has to be dealt with in this country.
Yeah.
And I think we've already proven as a society, we're not dying to run to the gym and work out and
No.
eat healthy. So
way easier to
if
get a
there's
2-liter.
if there's a shot we could take once a week, and the way this works is it doesn't mean that you can eat anything you want and all that. All it does is it curbs your appetite.
Yeah.
And they put me on a sample of Ozempic for 6 weeks because they're trying to get me on a different medication because, believe it or not, they're actually diabetes medications.
Yeah.
So it's not about losing weight for me. So I'm not on it now, but they gave me a sample of it. And I was talking to Henson about it when he was talking about Mounjaro, how at the end of the week, he's like, I start kind of pigging out on Sunday because
It's a cheat day.
It
wears off.
It wears off come Sunday at the end of the week. So those shots last for a week, and then you take another shot. And so by Sunday night, he's like, fuck, I'm starving. So basically, but when I was on that Ozempic for a few weeks, after the third week of taking it, and they gave me a 6-week sample of it. After the third week of taking it, I was like, all right, I'm at McDonald's. I'll get a Big Mac combo, and I'll get a 10-piece nugget. And I would usually eat the Big Mac combo, and then I would eat like 5 nuggets, and then the next day, I would have like 5 nuggets for a snack. I got halfway through my Big Mac and a quarter of the way through my fries,
I'm out.
and I was like, oh my God, I'm stuffed.
Yep.
And it was like, I
It's
wasn't
working.
I wanted to overeat. I wanted to stuff my face, but I was like, fuck, dude. Like, I can't take another bite. So that's what that medication does,
Yeah.
and how it's
To be
helping these
fair, a
people
lot of
lose weight.
the big weight problem too is just sugar being so addictive. The caffeine that everybody's on. It's one of those.
poison.
Well, yeah, I'm saying that because Marina's on a diet right now, right? And she just recently cut all her sugar out, and just noticed today she texted me. And I got to read the text only because it's funny.
All
The way
right,
she
go ahead.
talks. I'm not calling her out or anything. This is actually
Sounds
good
like
stuff.
you are.
No, it's good stuff. She's doing very well with her diet. She's just on. She wants to eat healthier, right?
Yeah.
Where is it at? It's oh, here we go. Bro, I think I just lost my appetite.
Did she say
Yeah,
bro?
This is word for word. So
This is the dude
she
in
switched
Marina.
all the sugar out of her diet, right? So she's basically just
Really?
yeah, she's cut it all out. She's drinking tea every day with turmeric and things like that, eating salads for lunch, and I'm supporting
So
it.
no ketchup,
No
things like
ketchup,
that
yeah.
too.
And I told her do whatever fucking diet you want, just do not include me on it because I need to gain some weight.
Yeah.
But she said, "Bro, I think I lost my appetite. I look at fast food and I'm not interested. Am I retarded?"
Yeah.
And I replied with, "No, that's kind of just you getting the goals you were setting. You literally said you want to shrink your appetite and eat better, and now you're confused."
Yeah.
And then she said, "Yeah, I love you."
It's so weird the way things work. Like her saying, I look at fast food and I don't even want it. Like I went through the weirdest stretch when I had, I think it was my gallbladder removed. Okay. And I think that's what it was. So I was in the hospital for a couple days, and then I was out, and I don't think I had any dietary restrictions, but the only thing I craved was fruits.
Yeah.
I wanted fucking green grapes and strawberries. I was having strawberries. I didn't want
Sans whipped creams.
and I was so again, my mom was helping me through that period. My mom and Beth at the time, but all I wanted was like turkey sandwich and fruits, and I couldn't get enough of. And it's like, why? All of a sudden, I've never craved a fruit in my
It's
fucking
one of those
life.
things where I think if you cut
And it
out
was like-
sugar and shit because it's so thing, you change your diet up a little bit and you get your body just adjusted to the new healthier diet, you're cool with it. Your body just learns to be cool with it.
I don't know if it's the body or if it's the mind or what
bit
it
of both.
was, but it freaked me out in a good way. I was like, this is crazy how like my internal system is going, no, you don't want McDonald's.
Yeah.
You want like, and I was like, Mom, you got to go to the grocery store for me and get me some cantaloupe and some green grapes and some strawberries. And it was like, she'd come home and she's like, no problem.
Yeah.
And it was
She's
like,
like, I'm in.
dude, I'm eating bowls of this shit. And then it wore off, you know,
Yeah.
and I was like, fuck.
And that's one of those things.
I wish I had that
Like I said,
craving
it's
again.
like I think just all of America is getting so fucking fat because all
Yeah.
we know is sugar and trans fat and processed food. And the moment you get off that and you just train yourself to eat normal stuff, you're cool with it again. You're like, oh wait, this is just normal food. We can eat this.
Well,
But it's
my
so
my
much
guess
easier
is
to eat
to
unhealthy.
wrap this up because I do want to see
Yeah.
Ed upstairs and whatnot.
Yeah.
I do think they will find something in those drugs like they did with Viagra. I think they'll find something in Mounjaro or Trulicity or Ozempic, one of those. They'll find that active ingredient, and they'll start using that compound. They'll go to and they'll find a
I
way
was
to be
gonna say,
like,
this Ozempic Mounjaro thing coming up right now. It's like this is generation 1. They'll get better.
yeah, they'll get better.
Never get Gen
and
1 stuff.
Hopefully, they figured out before we all drop dead.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of wanted to go, even though I've read so much bad shit about Ozempic. I kind of wanted to see, like, would I lose weight and look hot? I'm not on it, so they're not going to give it to me anyways. But I do want to be on Mounjaro, and that's another weight loss one. But that's supposed to be fucking amazing at controlling your blood sugars.
There you
like
go.
Stabilize, no issues. And my nurses have told me, my doctors have told me, fucking Greg Henson's told me. So I really want to get on that more than anything, just so I don't have to keep playing this game with blood sugar. So anyway, we'll keep you posted. Let's do some email.
Okay.
Fuck. I'm gonna have to watch this. Delete this fucking kid. This fucking kid is brain dead. If he thinks what's going on in this country is okay, someone needs to delete this fucking kid. From Kevin. Do you have video of this kid?
Yeah, I found the kid. Delete him.
He looks like
Let me
he
refresh the
needs
page
to
real
be
quick.
punched.
Just so it starts from the beginning.
Yeah, let's see.
Slide. Lowest unemployment in 60 years, baby.
What about inflation? You
talking
got
about
any
Joe
questions
Biden.
about inflation?
Inflation's going down.
Actually,
Pause
it's
it.
going up.
It's going.
Start this over. Okay.
I'm trying to. I have to refresh the page to start it
This
over.
is one of these man on the street. This is Charlie Kirk he's talking to. And Charlie's great. And he this looks like a campus. So you've got some dipshit college student
Yeah.
talking about how much he loves Biden. Oh my God.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Down. It's gas prices are down. Gas prices are down. Inflation is down.
Is it dipshit?
Coke, seethe.
Why is
That
the
Coke
Fed then
seed,
raising
fuck him.
rates? How many illegals are coming across the border every day?
A lot.
So about 10 to
lot.
15,000 a day. Do you think Joe
And they're all
Biden?
going to vote Dem.
You're okay? Can you say that again?
The illegals, yeah, they're coming here. They're going to vote Democrat, and we're going to win.
What an asshole.
So you are admitting that the
Pause.
So you're admitting the border.
If you missed it, he said cope, seethe.
Yeah, I fucking hate that
So
one of those people.
fucking asshole.
I say that to antagonize people.
In other
into
words,
a
we're
fight.
going to ruin your country. Cope, seethe.
Yep.
You cocksucker. This fucking entitled little prick. Fuck you.
Yep.
Ugh.
Oh, don't worry. He gets laid out pretty quick.
Good.
Border is a political
Border is a political
tactic by the Democrat Party. Joe Biden is opening the floodgates of this country because he wants to hold on to political power. We've been saying this for a long time.
Proof.
You
Proof
just said
admitted it. What is he doing to secure the border? When you have 15,000 people a day coming across your southern border,
Who cares?
that is not a mistake.
Who cares?
But who cares? Do you believe in borders?
As like a. I believe that. No borders. No. One world government.
one world government.
That's going to go
And
Wow.
Final pitch for Joe Biden. No borders, lots of war, more spying, and bankrupt the country.
He's still going to win.
You guys might win an election, but that will be the death of America if that is the case.
I believe Biden's going to win.
Yeah, death of America. You're absolutely right. You want a listen, shit dick. You want a one world government based on your American perspective.
Yeah, based on what you believe.
What you know as a fucking entitled snot-nosed shitbag in America. That's what you're basing it on. What if it's not the West that wins out, asshole?
Yeah.
What if it's not your country's?
What if Russia
it's-
wins the war and now gays are illegal
What
again?
if fucking Arabs win the? What if Sharia wins out, asshole? And you're brilliant.
Yeah.
One government rule, one world government. Yeah. So you think that's a good? You are a useful idiot, son. You are. You're a dumb person.
Yep.
You're a dumb person, and hopefully you lose across the board and a message is sent. I fear for that because I don't think the idea of fair elections without being rigged is possible anymore.
Not anymore,
And
no.
and I've been very vocal about it. I don't know that Trump even gets to the finish
know,
line.
most other
I do
countries-
not
I was gonna
believe they
say.
will let Trump get to the finish line.
you know a
I
majority of-
believe. Hold on, dude.
Okay.
I believe they would kill him before they would let him get there. That's my personal thought. That's how serious these people take it. And I do not believe you will get anything in some semblance of a fair election come November.
was gonna
Because
say-
it should be a fucking bloodbath. to be
Most other
honest with you.
countries already banned electronic voting.
Yeah, of
Like,
course
you
they
can't
did.
mail in. you
France
can't even,
tried.
like- yeah.
France tried.
It's like, no, you vote by paper. You put your paper in the
Yeah.
box. We take the box. We count it.
Yeah. No, they learned real quick.
Yeah, they'll
As
figure it out.
anybody that's being serious about it knows. Now, I talked to my brother about this. We argue about this from time to time. My brother doesn't like the inconvenience of it. He's like, fuck it, dude. If I can do it from my house, why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
And I say to him, I understand that. I understand we're a very convenience country. We want things to be easy. We want things to get easier over time. I think it is not too much to ask as a civic duty.
Once every 4 years,
Once
you get
every
off your
4
couch.
years, you go down to your local school, your local church, your local whatever, and you put pen to paper to try to limit the possibility for shenanigans.
Yeah.
Everywhere in the world that has tried this has found out, oh shit, this is ripe for problems. And that's not like, I wouldn't want it if my side was the one that was using the shenanigans. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Let the people vote. And if it means once every 4 years we get off our lazy asses, and there were plenty of times when I couldn't be bothered. But I think that's not too much to ask for. And I think if you really wanted to do something cool, fine, make it a national holiday.
Yep.
And that Tuesday, once every 4 years, the whole country's off, and it's illegal for your boss to make you go to work, however you want to do it.
Yep.
And you go there and you fucking vote. You do your civic duty. It's important. And it's more important the older I get and the crazier times get.
I don't know. I still
Simple.
think your vote doesn't count anymore. I just
No,
gave up. And
dude,
I get it.
I'm trying desperately
Yeah.
to have faith
Yeah.
that the system can work and work for all of us.
Yeah.
I don't know that I believe that either, but I'm gonna stand by that.
And like
what I
yeah.
know is if you find a way to be like, oh yeah, you can just vote with your phone, or you can just mail it in. I know that sounds awesome, and for the lazy man in me, which is 99% of me, I get it.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's too important. It's too important, and it's too easy to fuck with by just having random mail-in votes everywhere.
I
It
agree.
is, and it's not a left-right thing. It's just a democracy
Yeah.
thing.
And then the funniest thing is, I know you say Trump's not going to make it to the election. I kind of just want him to win so that the left can start saying the election's rigged again.
Yeah, oh,
it's
they
just
will.
going to flip. That's all that's going to happen. No
Immediately
matter
they
who
will.
wins, right or left, the other side's going to say that it was rigged.
Of course they would.
It
All right,
doesn't
let's do
matter.
one more email, and then we'll get out of here. Sound
right.
good? All right. Guys, I am married to a teacher. She sounds odd.
Gross.
Yeah. My wife knows her way around guns and has been to training courses for handling guns.
Okay, so
I want
decent teacher.
nothing to do with my wife having a gun in the classroom. God forbid, should something happen in her school, I do not want her running towards.
Well, that sounds like more of a woman problem.
Towards it to neutralize the threat. I would much prefer her grabbing kids as a shield and get the fuck out of the school. So this guy doesn't want to lose
He
his
just
piece
wants
of
to
ass.
protect his wife. That's
He
all.
wants his pussy intact, is what he wants. I understand the selfishness of this.
And look,
I really
get
do.
it. I don't think the woman should have the gun. I get it. No, I'm just kidding.
I know. I was gonna say, like, dude, but think about
That sounds
the
more
fucking
anti-woman than anti-gun. Come
think
on.
about the meathead gym teacher with a
Yeah.
gun. I want that guy with a gun.
Think about the 2A history teacher who loves his history.
Hell yeah. I get it. You don't want your girly wife and your vagine on demand
Yeah.
getting blown to bits. I
I've
understand.
never
that.
had a history teacher who wasn't super pro-Constitution, so I want them to have the guns.
This guy's such a dickhead. It's bone job.
Ah,
Connor.
fucking bone job.
Thanks for putting on a Monday show. I'm sure you're exhausted from watching other people work. I can't imagine how taxing it is watching them work and then sitting in a chair and talking for a couple hours. True hero's effort. Fuck you.
Yeah, honestly, fuck you, bone job. I work 9 hours a day
Not
before
you.
I come
He's
here.
talking about me.
I know, but
he's
come
talking
on.
about me. And I understand his argument. No one. First off, no one gives a shit about you, Garrett,
I know.
because you're in your 20s.
I'm in my 20s.
No
I hear it a
one
lot.
cares.
Oh, you're still young. You have energy.
You can
Fuck
work
you guys.
23 hours a day, and no one's gonna feel bad for
Dude,
you.
I'm not allowed to complain. I'm tired at work. It sucks.
No, not in your 20s. You're not.
No.
So he's talking about me, and while he makes some valid points, that's true. Bone job. Here's the problem. Okay, I have so many fucking schedule. My health has been so bad. Okay, between my heart and my teeth.
Cope and seethe, Mike.
Cope and seethe. It's been so bad that I've got to schedule all this shit before I leave, because when I go to Arizona, they're not going to accept my Michigan insurance.
Yeah.
And I can't get new insurance until the new year. And I can't go months and months without having insurance and the ability to get to see these doctors.
No, and I agree.
So I need to go, and I'm not going to be here Monday. I'm telling you right now, I have a 3 o'clock with the
Yep.
sleep people.
And-
I need to get that. I need to get the sleep study stuff figured out before I leave town, and it takes months to get on their schedule. So I'm going to be there from 3 o'clock to God knows when on Monday. I don't know, and it probably won't be my only visit to them. So things like that are what's fucking me up, not watching other people work in my house. The other thing is, I order stuff, okay? I go, and whether other people help me or I do it myself is beside the point, but say you pick something out. I pick something out, and then it turns out, I find out 2 months into the process that they don't have those anymore,
Yeah.
and they're not being sent. Now I have to go shopping for fucking Backsplash. Do you think I want to go shopping for Backsplash tomorrow?
That
I
sounds
fucking
fun.
do not. I do not. And then so there's a lot to this that involves me driving around to multiple locations, taking meetings with people, looking at different shit. That's where the problem lies. So while it was dust throughout my house, and you remember how bad that was
It's
for
still on
2
tables.
months, it's still all over the I stopped cleaning it.
Yeah.
I gave up. I'm like, fuck it, man. I'm not doing it anymore until this is done. That's where the problem is. So Bone Job, I understand. I do. I mean it, but I'm not just a lazy piece. Well, I am a lazy piece of shit.
Yeah.
But it's not for lack of wanting to be down here. It just it's way more involved than even I gave it credit for. And a lot of these doctor's appointments with my endocrinologist and my sleep people and my heart people and everything else, my primary, all that shit needs to be taken care of. All my medications filled through the remainder of the year. It's a real fucking headache.
I was going to say,
So
I give you a lot of
please
leeway because
understand.
you're going from Michigan to Arizona. I just brought Marina from Arizona to Michigan, and we had all the same problems with her medications, the hormones. It's a fucking nightmare.
It's
so
and I imagine
anytime you call
hormones
me,
are
like,
probably hard.
Oh, my God, they're hard. They're federally regulated now.
Yeah,
It's fucking
yeah.
stupid.
That's what I'm running into is certain meds like
Yeah.
I've been on painkillers for my back and
it's really
some
hard
other
to get
things.
those transfer
Those
state
are
lines.
gone. Once I leave here, those are gone. And they don't give me many. They give me a handful,
Yeah.
a month. But those are done. Those don't transfer, and I can't get them in
So I get the
Arizona,
medical
and
stuff.
So
but
it's
whenever
like,
you
whatever.
text me like, hey, I need to get this medical thing cleared up, I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
take your time. I completely fucking get it.
Yeah, and the teeth thing.
Because when you move,
the
it's
teeth
fucked.
thing is a nightmare. And so a lot of my medications, the heart medications, I take 12 fucking 15 medications a day, every day. And those medications I can have for a few months in Arizona, like, hey, I'm visiting. I need to pick it up at this Walgreens instead of my Michigan one. Some meds can't. And a lot of the studies and the testing that I need to get done can't. So not that I owe you the explanation, you fucking Bone Job, but he's been such a supporter over the
Yeah,
years. I
he's
feel
been
like
here for a
I do.
while. We do love him.
And I, believe me, I know it's been taxing on listeners out there putting up with this process. I understand it. I get it. I
get
thank
better.
you guys to death. Every time I go in there, my first thought is, oh my God, how many members bailed today?
Yeah.
How many people fucking gave up today? And, every time it hasn't changed. I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful.
And once
because
we
it's-
learn how to do this streaming, cross country type deal, it's going to be a lot easier for show. And I think I might start running my own stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be
yeah.
fun.
It's going to be super easy.
yeah.
And Travis and I have talked about
Getting
it. We'll-
guests will be easier. It's going to be a lot better of a show coming up.
Yeah, it will. Believe me.
Guests are so much easier when they're like, hey, you don't even have to leave your hotel room. Just call in.
Okay. Anyways, all right. Let's shut it down there. I almost gave you 2 hours today,
Yeah.
Bone Job, so you can't bitch at me. All right. I'll try to do some more members content this weekend. Why not? I'll do some Drew and Mike Pause for people that are enjoying that stuff. And God, I won't get into that. Anyways, have a great weekend, everybody. And we will not be here Monday because I know I've got the sleep thing on Monday. Hopefully Tuesday. Hopefully that's good for everybody. I think I have a doctor's appointment on Tuesday as well, but I still think I can get here.
We'll keep you posted best we can.
Yeah,
I'll try
yeah.
not to get any more AIDS.
Yeah, don't get those AIDS.
I will not get those AIDS.
All right, everybody.
I think he should be ashamed of himself. I think he should go into the background.
Have a wonderful weekend. Send us your emails too. If you want to bitch at me or Garrett or praise us for how wonderful we are.
I like praise.
Walters at DetroitCast.com. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you soon.